Talk Radio. Across the UK. Late night with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Brother of five, doing whatever I had to do to survive. I'm not saying what I did was alright. Trying to break out of the ghetto was a day-to-day fight. Being down so long, getting up didn't cross my mind. But I knew there was a better way of life, and I was just trying to find. You don't know what you do till you put under pressure. Across 110th Street is a hell of a tester. Across 110th Street, pimps trying to catch a woman that's weak. Across 110th Street, pushers won't let the junkie go free. Across 110th Street,
03
woman trying to catch a trick on the street.
03 74 03 74 99 1000.
Horny.
I got one more thing I'd like to talk to y'all about right now.
Dick.
Hey brother, there's a better way out. Snorting that coke, shooting that dope, man, you're copping out. Take my advice, it's either live or die. You got to be strong if you wanna survive. The family on the upper side of town will catch hell without a ghetto around. In every city you'll find the same thing going down. Harlem is the capital of every ghetto town. Let me sing it. Across 110th Street, pimps trying to catch a woman that's weak. Across 110th Street, wishes won't let the junkie go free. Oh, across 110th Street, a woman trying to catch a trick on the street. Ooh, baby.
The vibe is strong. It's a strong vibe. It's a strong vibe. I didn't know that Womack and Womack weren't. Neither of them were Bobby Womack. No, neither of them were Bobby Womack. Yeah, no, so neither of Womack and Womack are Bobby Womack.
No, what are their first names then?
Well, it's his. I think it's his brother. I'm going to say, or won't he? We just don't know. Not Willie Womack. Hello.
20% off all flyers and leaflets.
What the hell?
Samantha Womack.
And I think that the man Womack is his brother. I was going to say Robert Womack, but then that would be Bobby Womack. Nick Womack.
Incorrect data.
Okay.
The woman in it.
You just said Samantha.
No, she's not. Samantha, what? That's what Samantha Janus is called now.
You can't. Well, listen, here's the thing, guys. Once you're famous, you can't change your name.
Mrs. Womack is called Linda.
That's my mum's name.
Yeah.
Is my mum in Womack and Womack?
Turns out.
Footsteps on a dance floor.
Is she married to Cecil?
Could be. Could be. 0344 499 1000. Dear listener, welcome to the Late Night Alternative. My name is Iain Lee, and you are
Katherine Boyle.
If you phone up tonight, the phone will be answered by one of two people. It could be Worky Dylan, or it could be Lady Alex. We just don't know. If you're phoning up, if the phone gets answered by Worky Dylan, caller, you get 5 points. If the phone is answered by Lady Alex, caller, you get 10 points. It's a game. And at the end of the show, we tot up the scores, and the caller with the most scores is the winner. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Alan Caddick. Good evening, Alan. Alan's not called in.
What?
What the hell?
Did he not get the memo?
Alan?
Did anyone get the memo?
Alan's not called in. He's not the first caller of the night.
Why?
Why, Alan? Why are we playing sexy music to
entice him?
Ah, yes. Alan. Boobies, Alan. Boobies. Cheese. Cheese on boobies, Alan.
Oh, no, stop it.
That's the only time I would incorporate food into the bedroom. As you know, I'm not a fan of food in the bedroom. But cheese, a nice bit of grated cheddar on a boob.
No.
I'm in.
I prefer a water biscuit.
I'm in. Alan's not called in. The only thing I can think is he's dead. So tonight's show is dedicated to the memory of Alan Caddick. Alan, wherever you are in spirit world, our thoughts are with you, and we wish you. What did not the Egyptians? Who were the Valhallians?
They were the Vikings.
The Vikings would say a prayer to send the spirit onto Valhalla, which is their equivalent of the fantasy world heaven. So tonight's show is a prayer of sorts in an attempt to speed on Alan Caddick's horny spirit as we send it to Valhalla.
I mean, the other possibility is he's fallen asleep.
That's a possibility. I suggest it's higher. I bet he's got bloody coronavirus, isn't it?
Oh, no, don't.
I bet Alan's got bloody corona.
I think it's
Trust Alan to get corona.
I think it's probably very tiring being Alan Caddick.
You'll never guess who's got corona. Is it Caddick? Yeah, you guessed! It was obvious. By the way, this will be, according to Boris Johnson's speech earlier today, this is the new national anthem. Come around May or June time. I've never heard that bit before.
No, that's a bit scary, isn't it?
We are all... I don't want to cause panic. My job as a radio host is to quell panic. But we are all screwed. We are all getting the old CV. We are all getting the old CV, dear listener. It's happening, man. It's happening. Hyde Park will be a morgue.
Stop it.
It will be. Oh, Katherine, the voice of reason.
Well, you know what'll happen.
What?
People will believe you.
Yeah, good. Well, people believe...
Wash your hands, you dirty devils.
Well, you wash your hands singing Happy Birthday twice. And our friend Scott said, well, that takes ages. So I simply said, well, just sing it quicker.
Is he singing the Whitney Houston version?
I used a public toilets tonight at London Bridge Station.
How did that work out for you?
It wasn't like the old days, let's just say. I have never seen men queuing to wash their hands before. Men were queuing to wash... Oh, hang on, is this new bit of the funeral march? What's this?
This is the beginning of the Phantom of the Opera, isn't it? Oh, no.
Amen, Lord Jesus.
Now, here's the thing. Why do they make organ music so scary?
That's like when you hear, like, a TV theme, like, on a record instead of in the theme, and you go, oh, there's a middle eight. It's like, The Professionals has got, like, a whole instrumental bit. How does The Professionals go? Down, down, down. Meow, 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 meow. It goes like that. Mm-hmm. But then there's like a whole...
And there's a waka, 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 waka in the background,
That's
isn't
Pac-Man
there?
you're thinking of. Then there's a whole bit that you just don't No, you don't know anymore. But anyway, I'm bored of that music now.
Now, Ricky Hale says number doesn't even work.
Jesus wept like
Now,
a
it may be that
baby.
he's pressing it wrong.
He's pressing it wrong.
With his newly washed hands.
We haven't given out the number. How can you know the number? We haven't given out the number, have we, Sharon? Sharon?
I have it saved on my phone, though.
He's got it shaved on his phone.
Gosh.
Which shaved on your phone?
Saved, not
sorry, I thought you said shaved. You actually said shaved. Okay, but we haven't given the number out yet. So, Ricky, what's his name? Ricky Wilson from the Kaiser Chiefs?
Yeah.
Idiot. The number, because the number's working, because Sharana's got through, 0344 499 1000. And for those who missed it, here it is again.
I know what you've done.
What?
I know what you've done.
What?
Tonight from 10, me and Flipping Kath will
I put
fan
on
you
the
about on a
Twitter.
national radio
On the
station.
Twitter.
Imagine, yeah. 0344 499 100.
Well, add an extra zero to it. Add an extra zero to it. Oh, I've got to play something, but I can't play it while we've got a kid on the line, and we probably have to leave a decent gap between kid call
And bedtime.
and bedtime. So we have to play it after 10:30 when the kids are in bed. The kids are all right. We're seeing the Who soon. No,
Do you realise I listen to your radio show all the way till 1 o'clock?
no, you don't. Because what we do
Yes,
is
I
we
do.
do what shopkeepers did in the early 2000s, is after 10:30 we play like a really high-pitched whistle that only kids and dogs can hear, and it makes them switch off, and you know that is the case.
It isn't, though.
See, I can't hear anything now.
Neither can I.
Kath, could you stop talking, please? Kath talking. Is it true that James Max on his early morning pre-breakfast breakfast show
Live life to the max.
does a feature called Mad Max where he does a rant for 15 minutes about something? Because if he does, that's genius. That is... I'm surprised it took him so long.
But also,
But
doesn't everyone do a rant for 15 minutes?
But he should call his Mad Max 3 Beyond the
Thunderdome. Two men enter, one man leaves.
What's that?
That's what happens when
One
you go to
called
the Thunderdome.
Michael, one called Steve's. Sharon, what would you like to add to this already excellent show?
You said we're all screwed, but we're not, really.
Go on.
Even if we get the virus, we're still all okay, because most of the people who got the virus and died are either old, have weak immune systems, or had pre-existing lung conditions.
I like old people, and I've got some in my family, and I don't want them to die. So, we're all
Protect them, so we're not all screwed.
Yeah, but I will be screwed. Shut up.
Not us.
I wish the young people were. I like old people. My mum is an old person. I don't want my mum... inheritance, though. No, I don't want my mum to die. So, we're screwed.
Then, not all of us, just her then.
So, literally, coronavirus will just kill off my mum?
This guy sounds like he's looking forward to it.
Nanny Linda? This guy wants Nanny Linda dead? What a scum... You're a scumbag. Get off my show, you absolute piece of trash.
Monster.
Did you hear that guy phone up and threaten my mum?
Mm-hmm.
Phone up and threaten Nanny Linda. Wow. Wow, that's outrageous.
What did she do?
Well, actually, she bit me once.
You deserved it.
No, did you know about this? So, we had a cat called Toby when I was very, very young. And
Colour, please. Size.
It was a black moggy. Usual.
Biggin?
Standard.
Biggin?
Standard.
All right.
Standard size, Toby. And we had him from when I was about 3 or 4 till we moved when I was 11, and he got run over and he died. And we all went to Macari's in Maidenhead to have a coffee and a hot chocolate with whipped cream on top because we were all distraught. And so at the top of the stairs one day when I'm 4 or 5, I put Toby's paw in my mouth and I bit him, and then I chucked Toby down the stairs. My mum says, why did you do that? Why did you bite him? I said, he put his paw in my mouth. She grabbed my arm. She grabbed it at the wrist and at the elbow, and she bit and she took a lump out of my arm.
No, she didn't take a lump
She took
out.
a lump out of my arm. She took that woman. I'm with Sharam. Let's kill her. That woman took a lump out of my arm. I never bit anybody or anything ever again.
That's not true. I've seen you biting things.
Sorry? What have I bitten that you've seen?
Sandwiches.
I bite sandwiches, obviously.
Well, don't tell lies.
Well, I mean, like, living things. Sandwiches. What is your problem? 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Sorry, excuse me. Let's go to Dean. Good evening, Dean.
Good evening to you, Iain, and Kath as well.
Hello, Dean.
My favourite radio presenters. Anyway,
you bumlick.
You up?
You massive bumlick. Sorry, can you just take your tongue out of my backside, because I'm finding it difficult to sit down.
Are you? You got a boil on your bum?
No, he bloody hasn't.
Go on, Dean, what can we do for you?
Why is he finding it hard to sit down?
You missed the bit about...
You missed it because you were
mind.
talking. Yes, go!
I rang up to say, well, first of all, to see if the lines are working. I fell for that one.
The lines are working. That guy, Ricky, is a scumbag and a piece of trash, and when he phones up, we're going to hang up on him.
Away.
Oh, jeez.
I forgot. So I got 5 points.
You got 5 points for Dylan, 10 points if Lady Alex answers the phone.
Yeah, I got 5 points anyway.
Okay.
So, anyway, I'm ringing you up, actually, to share something with you, which is rather bizarre.
I'll be the judge of that.
I went to hospital today because I have a condition at night time where my throat collapses, yeah?
You hang on. Whoa. Hang on a second. Now, I have to say, for legal reasons, I'm no doctor anymore since they withdrew my medical licence. It turns out if you buy it online, it doesn't actually qualify you as a doctor. I found out, well, some of my patients found out the hard way, and may God rest their souls, and I can't say any more because I'm... Shut up, Dean! Can't say any more... Shut your face! I can't say any more because their families are currently suing me. But there is no such condition that at night time your throat constricts. That doesn't exist.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Absolutely. I've got a machine that...
I've got a machine as well.
Proper medical name, please?
It's a form of apnea.
No, apnea is apnea is when you can't fall asleep.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
When you sleep during the day and you don't breathe properly at night.
No, it's not. Apnea is when you can't fall asleep.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes, it is.
Are you telling the man what he's got?
Yes.
Well, I'm a qualified doctor as well, so...
Bull shine. And let's just say, Dylan's world is about to get a whole lot weirder. Alan Caddick's calling in. Good luck, Dylan.
It's a miracle.
Okay, so you've got this made-up fictional disease. Okay.
I went to the hospital.
Yeah?
Anyway, to the respiratory clinic.
Yes.
And I was sat in the waiting room, and I was the only person in there. Then all of a sudden, they must have got these people from somewhere.
Yes.
And filled up the room chock-a-block. I mean, there must have been 40 people in this little waiting room. Actors.
They were actors that were brought. This guy doesn't listen.
Got the virus, then
doesn't.
We've all got it
Are your ears working?
What?
Exactly. There you go.
Yes, they are, Ian.
Well, then how come when I'm talking, you don't shut up?
Okay, sorry.
So you could hear me talking?
I can now, yeah.
Could you hear me talking when you didn't shut up?
No.
I think you've got arse apnea. No, ear apnea, which is when your mouth is open, your ears close.
I wear 2 hearing aids.
Pardon?
I wear 2 hearing aids.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need... Can we have a whip round and get this guy some new batteries? Yes.
We've had this conversation before.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we have.
We haven't.
Yeah.
Why are you siding with a very rude man?
I'm siding with the doctor.
I told you, I'm not a doctor anymore.
He is.
Okay. He's not a doctor! What tonight's show was supposed to be zippy and zappy and full of vim and vigour, and instead... Go on, because I want to play a woman from 1950 taking LSD. So, but we'll get to that in a minute. Go on.
I forgot what I was going to say now.
Dean, thank you very much for your call. 0344.
He's right. That was a weird story.
It was a very, very weird story. Alan Caddick knows the winners of the Grand National. Alan Caddick bashes off to every big brother. Bum. Hello, Alan.
Hey, but I'm not happy.
Well, first of all, how are you communicating with us from beyond the grave?
I am not dead. Rumours of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Oh, look at you with the old Mark Twains. So when do you...
I'm not happy.
Do you...
Guys,
what is wrong with everyone tonight? Why will no one shut up when I'm talking? I'm doing the shtick. I'm the shtick man. Right? I'm the shtick man. I'm doing the shtick, not these jabronis. Do you have a message for anybody here on the physical realm?
Why didn't you call me back? Why did you put me straight through to from a new guy in the phone room?
Why did we put you straight through from the new guy in the phone room? Alex and Dylan, why did you put him through from the new guy in the phone room? Dylan? Yeah, you're right to cry. You're right, he's crying. That's a child crying. Well done. Yeah, go on.
We tried to call him back, and he was already calling.
Look at you two, thick as thieves. Turn your micro. You can hear those two giggling and smoking and drinking. They've got a bottle of scotch out there, which Dylan brought in. A bottle of scotch.
Is it Jack Daniels?
No, it's Famous Grouse.
Me dad like Bell's whiskey.
Your dad's a Bell what?
No, me dad like Bell's whiskey.
Oh, okay. Is that like Bell's palsy? Do you know what Bell's palsy is?
Never heard of it.
I know what it is.
Go on, Katherine.
Family member of mine had it.
Yeah.
Just briefly.
Yeah.
She was only a kid as well. Woke up one morning, one whole side of her face didn't move.
Here's a trivia question for you, fam. Which famous British radio personality famously had a famous case of the famous Bell's palsy? Alan?
Whittle Burton came from ITN.
Who?
Whittle Burton came from ITN.
Was he a radio presenter?
He did news at 10.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's why I said radio presenter. Katherine?
Tony Blackburn.
Incorrect. Alan, back to you.
Alan Freeman.
Back to you, Katherine.
Diddy David Hamilton.
Back to you, Alan.
Kenny Edwards.
Back to you. Do you know the answer to this, Alex? I'll give you a clue. It's a him, and you've worked with him, I think. What's that in the background?
I'll tell you.
Are you watching a Bluey?
No, my mum's watching Doctor Who downstairs.
Your mum's watching... She's doing what?
She's watching Doctor Who downstairs.
Very, very loud. We'll let you get on with it. Nick Abbott.
Oh.
Bell's palsy. Okay, I was expecting a bigger reaction to that.
Okay, well, it's just, moderately interesting.
Okay. I want to talk about small pleasures. I had a great moment today. It was freezing cold coming into work. Came to work really early because I was doing a really nice job where I got to meet Ellis James, who's a Welsh comedian who I think is fab. And his partner is Izzy Sooty, who I've interviewed a few times. And I didn't know that. And I went in and I said, I've got to say, Ellis, I really enjoy the stuff you do on Radio 4. It really makes me laugh. And he said, thank you very much. My partner says hello. I said, I don't know who that is. And Izzy said, and he said, do you remember she came in on your Absolute Radio show? I said, I think she came in a few times. But she came in with Josie Long, who I'm also a big fan of. I said, oh, my God. And they brought in Josie Long's sister, who was a hairdresser. They'd all been to the Hairdresser of the Year Awards. I think Josie Long's sister had won something, and she was steaming drunk. And she came in, they were all a bit tipsy, but Josie Long's sister sat on my lap. I'm married. This was weird. And Ellis is going, yeah, that's exactly how he told me that it went. So I did a really nice thing with him. And it's for a podcast for the Eden Project. It's about conversation and stuff. And I'll let you know when it goes out. I got paid for it, the cards on the table. But it was just really nice chatting to him. And we were supposed to chat for 20 minutes. After 50 minutes, they came in and said, look, we're really good. We've got the next guest is coming in. So we're really going to have to wrap this up. So it was one of those. It was really nice. And now I cannot... Oh!
Small pleasures.
So, and that meant I was in town at 5. I thought, well, there's no point in going. I couldn't find an AA meeting I wanted to go to. There was nothing on at the cinema. So I thought, well, I'll go park at work. Mm-hmm. I'm not really supposed to park till 6:30, but I'll have a little doze in the car. And if a traffic warden comes along, they're not allowed to give you a ticket if you're in the car.
Is that so?
Without asking you to move. So if you're asleep in the car, they can't put a ticket on the car. It's illegal.
They have to.
Excuse me, sir, could you move? Yes, sure, of course. What? Did you? Oh, yeah, sure, of course. But they can't put a ticket on. It's great. So I had a little doze. No one came. No parking wardens, traffic wardens came. So then I thought, about 6:30 when I could leave the car, and I really needed a wee, I thought, I'll go to the toilets in London Bridge Station. And I did. That's where I saw people queuing up to wash their hands.
Not people, men.
But some men...
Not saying men are not people, but it's unusual for that many men to queue.
Some men left without washing their hands. Oh. And I just thought, you dirty buggers. I hope you get it. Hope you get the coronavirus.
That used to be you.
I didn't used to wash my hands after toilets, but now I do. Mm. But I just smiled politely, sweetly, kept it inside, and I just thought, I hope you die.
Silent judging.
Hope you die. Hope you get it. Hope you die and your family is ill and mourns you. That'll serve you right. Then you'll learn.
And they'll say, if only he washed his hands.
The other thing is, they're putting my life at risk. We know that Sharon wants to murder my mother, so I am a legitimate target. My family are a legitimate target in the eyes of weirdos. So then, I thought I might as well go to work, and I'll just go and sit quietly in the canteen and read. I've not read for a while, and I thought I just want to sit and read. You won't be in for an hour and a half. Dylan won't come in till later, so sit and read. Now, this is where the small pleasure comes in. 0344 499 1000. As you approach the Devil's Bell, News Corps, outside is some escalators.
Yes.
One going up, one going down, right, to take you to an underground, little shopping arena.
Or bring you out of it.
Yeah.
Whichever one you're on.
Right. I saw one of the greatest moments of my life. A drunk man going down the down escalator, then realising he didn't want to go down, so he turned around about 3/4 of the way down and starts walking up. And I just stopped and I thought, I'm going to savour every second of this. Every second. This drunk guy in his late 50s, early 60s, walking up the down escalator. He looked a sight and he realised that he was there. It was, do you know what? It was probably only 25 seconds, but what a 25 seconds it was, Katherine. It was great. And I just stood there and I watched. No one else noticed it. It was like a little bit of theatre for me. Eventually he got to the top and then he got off and I just thought, brilliant. And he was, he was pissed, It was great.
Okay.
I was so thrilled. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Small pleasures,
Here's
please.
My small pleasure.
Go on.
Well, she wasn't a small pleasure when she got back from school. So my youngest is absolutely shattered because she had to wait up last night for her eldest sister to come back from guides.
I thought you were going to say about your eldest wishing bad luck on us.
That wasn't my eldest, that was the youngest.
Oh, I thought that was the eldest that said that. Oh, my God. Dear listener, you have to listen to this. Guys, honestly, this is great. I thought it was the eldest. It's even funnier knowing it's the youngest. We'll come back in a second. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
So anyway, she's 8 years old and overtired.
It's so much funnier knowing that it's the youngest little one.
If I can describe her to you, she's this little angelic, cheeky face. With a terrible sense, with a terrible temper. She goes off. She goes right off. Anyway, so she came back from school and it was all sweetness and light, and picked her up, and she came back, had a little snack, and I said, oh, listen, some bad news. I've just realised that your World Book Day, normally they don't celebrate it on World Book Day, you see, they do it on a different day, is on the Thursday, and I won't be here to do your face paints for World Book Day. She's going as a deer.
From which book?
Bambi.
Bambi's not a book.
I know, but they have to go as animals from books. Okay. And I said tiger who came to tea, but she said she didn't want to be a tiger again. So she won't be a tiger. So she was a deer. And I had, like, got this nice costume and everything, and I was going to do her a little black shiny nose and some little deer spots on the side of her face. She was going to look lovely, maybe a bit of eyeliner. Anyway, she was going to look the bomb. And I went, I'm not going to be back. I'm not going to be able to do your makeup. And she went nuts! What? I hate these awards! Why does everything have to revolve around you and your awards?
Wow.
I was thinking, where's she heard this? She said, it's ruining everything.
That's true.
And anyway, we all know you're not going to win.
Whoa! That's your 8-year-old!
Yeah, and then she said, I hope you don't. I hope you lose. And then she went up to her bedroom and she was trying to slam the door, but the door's a little bit...
Yeah, they're hard to slam.
And I could just hear it being closed repeatedly. And I went, what are you doing? Okay. Nothing! I went upstairs and she was trying to slam it, and I just took it from her and closed it very gently in her face.
God.
She went, I didn't want to close it! I wanted to slam it!
Wow.
Anyway, why don't you go to your awards and never come back? I mean, it escalated.
Whoa.
I said, well, listen, there is an alternative. You could leave. I'm gonna! Right, so she stomps down the stairs. She gets to the front door where we've got all the coats on pegs and we have hers lower down so she can get it herself.
Yeah.
And her shoes on the... I went, wrap up warm, though. I said, and good luck telling Grandma why you've left home. My mum lives round the corner. I was thinking that's the only place she can go. I'm not going to Grandma's!
Wow, she was actually going to leave you.
I said, where are you going? I'm staying!
What?
Furious. And then she went and stood in the toilet for a bit. I very gently opened the door and I went, shall I get your tea or are you...
Oh, God.
She was livid. But there were moments where we both laughed. I hope you lose. We all know. Everyone knows you're going to lose anyway.
Who's she been talking
I don't
to?
know. Twitter.
She's been talking to Twitter and Matthew Wright and our boss and the head of the Arias. She's been talking to Scott Mills.
And then she went upstairs and she knocked all the coats off the end of the banister. And I went, you can pick those up. No! I went, okay, well, they'll be waiting when you come back down after you sulk.
Wow.
Her elder sister was finding it hilarious. And there was a lot of little sort of comments from the corner, like, well, that escalated quickly. And
so when we lose, we can blame it on the hex that your 8-year-old put on us.
Yeah, and I will rue the day I was not there to do her face paints.
Wowzers.
Apparently that makes me a terrible mother.
0344 499 1000. I seem to have started a thing on Twitter where everyone is now encouraging Danny Baker to take LSD.
Oh.
We're going to play a clip that he tweeted in a minute, but so he tweeted this thing: a totally straight 1952 housewife is dosed with LSD, and we're going to play it. I've not seen it, but it's going to be great. And I've retweeted, that's tonight's show. Thanks, Danny. He's then said, one of my few regrets, I've never taken LSD. I planned to with Danny Kelly on a boat on the Norfolk Broads.
Yeah, Danny Kelly's told me this before.
But our initial venture into drugs, neither of us have ever smoked dope, ended in such a fiasco in Amsterdam that project got shelved. And I've replied jokingly, it's the only one worth doing, you'd have a right laugh.
Did you see what Danny Kelly wrote?
No.
Shelved? You mean postponed, surely?
Dan Mugger Harris is saying, go back to that shelf and pull that regret down. You only live infinite. An opportunity wasted. Your music collection will be completely... Everyone's just now encouraged. So please, for the love of God, if Danny Baker dies from an LSD overdose, ain't nothing to do with me. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. OK, we'll go there in a second. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Someone's just tweeting. I get so confused as to whether Mike Graham is right-wing or left-wing or mainstream media or not mainstream media. It just changes every day.
It depends on who he's annoyed.
Someone has just tweeted him, your station is full of right-wing shock jocks. When will you employ someone from the left? So I've just replied, hi, how can I help you? So let's see how that... I won't be left enough. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Getting busier on the phone tonight. Let's go to George. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Iain, Katherine.
Hello, George.
Big day, 3/3/2020. You know I'm into numerology.
Yes.
So that adds up to a 10 day, and that's the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot pack. Anyway, it's really nice to speak to you on this auspicious numerological day. It's really interesting what's unfolding. I have been circulating the prophecy I made on your program last week, and I'm looking to connect with this guy, Jonathan Kahn.
Have you tried to reach him?
Only by making this prophecy and hoping that the prophecy...
Here's the thing, right? If you want to reach someone, it's so easy to find people online now. For God's sakes, I got in touch with John Sebastian from the Loving Spoonful.
Yeah, well, I'm trying. I'm also trying to link to Sean Lennon. You know, he's got a band called...
Jonathan Kahn's on Facebook.
Just reach out to him on Facebook.
What do you have to do?
What?
Well, you're on Facebook, aren't you?
Sorry?
You're on Facebook, aren't you?
Please do it. I am on Facebook.
Okay, just put Jonathan Kahn into the search thing and you'll get Jonathan Kahn official site.
You can do it right now, please.
Okay.
And then just write to them.
Yeah, and you write to him.
Oh, thank you.
You're telling him, hang a minute, all these years of phoning up radio stations, asking people to do stuff for you, you didn't know that you could go on Facebook, which is how I got hold of you, unfortunately, and reach out to people and ask to make contact with them.
Why did you say unfortunately?
It's a joke, George. George, it's a joke. You're ignoring... Stop brushing over the main point of that sentence and focusing on a joke.
Okay. To me, everything's a joke. Did you ever watch the film Mad World?
Yeah, of course I did.
Great.
It's a good film.
Great film.
Good film. Three Stooges are in it.
Here's another contact point for you, George. If you go on Google, put Jonathan Kahn in, you'll get the second or third thing down is the BethIsraelWorshipCenter.org. That's where he's based, and they've got a contact us form you can fill in.
Oh, well, I really think this is great.
It would be marvellous if you could...
No.
Not my thing.
No,
it's your thing.
We don't want to get in touch with this guy. You do, and we have... Katherine, we've both given you one excellent way to directly reach him.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I feel that I'm playing the John the Baptist role to
I hate that.
To JC Jonathan Kahn. JC.
So they didn't have Google.
No, but I really think he is going to find himself wondering.
Getting a shed load of emails from someone he doesn't want to talk to.
No, he will want to talk to me.
Okay, well then good luck. You can let us know how it goes.
He's got a sense of humour. And interesting, the Bond film, it looks like they're going to postpone the premiere, doesn't it? It's Time to Die is the title of the film. Yeah. Isn't that synchronistic?
Nope. It's the name of a James Bond film.
Yeah, well, to get it postponed because of the virus, and then a film titled "It's Time to Die," I think is quite amusing.
What? Come on, grab pussy.
Okay, it's just one of those things.
Everything is just one of those things.
Exactly. Well done. I'm glad you're finally coming around to my way of thinking.
But it's all a script. Everything is...
sack the scriptwriter, because she's rubbish.
No, the scriptwriter is the joker of jokers.
God, you can't make... Here's why you annoy me. Because there's no humour. There's no humour. I'm sitting here. All right, my jokes ain't great, but I'm trying to breathe life into what is a very dull phone call, right?
I'm saying
I'm still talking. And I apologise. Actually, no, I apologise for talking on my radio show. That's rude of me. That's rude of me, Katherine, and I'm sorry for that. And if we are lucky enough to win one of the two or two of the two awards that we're nominated for tomorrow, I'm going to go up and I'm going to say I reject this award because it is not my place to talk on a radio show that's got my name in the title. I reject this award. And then what I'm going to do, live on stage at the Arias, I'm going to undo my new belt that I've got. I'm going to pull my trousers and my pants down. I'm going to smother the award in Vaseline that you'll have brought up on stage, and I'm going to put it where the sun don't shine. As a way of an apology to George.
Oh, I accept all of that.
There you go.
So will you.
But you say no humour. I'm trying to...
Well, I'm just sat here every time. I'm saying ridiculous things that are obviously jokes, and you go, no, but actually he's going to find my email address.
I'm saying that our creator is the joker of jokers.
You're saying our creator is Joaquin Phoenix.
Our creator is Captain Rainbow.
He needs to work on that.
All right, George. Thanks for your call, man. Nice to talk to you. Bye.
Bye.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you'd be very, very welcome. You'd be very welcome. But that's what it is he takes everything literally. Literally. I'm trying to add a little pep. I'm being disrespectful. I'm a young hood. I'm a thug. I'm a gangster, like old school gangsters, like 50s gangster, not 90s gangster. I'm a gangster, and I'm just trying to make what little time we have left on this planet as entertaining as possible.
Well, unfortunately for you, it's all been written, and it's been written in a very dry way.
Yeah,
very dry.
Oh.
Do you think he'll get in touch by any of the methods I suggested?
Could you do it for him?
No! That's not how it's been written.
Oh, I'm being told that he got the name of the film wrong. It's called No Time to Die, not It's Time to Die.
Uh-oh.
Twitter's gone crazy. Actually, the film's called No Time to Die, not It's Time to Die.
That's ruined it.
As with all of the current crop of Bond films, this new James Bond actor, Daniel Craig, I'll wait till it's on the telly.
I've only seen A Quantum of Solace.
They're boring. They're really dry. I
thought he was good.
He's great. They're very dry. I've seen the bit where he goes Bond, James Bond, and that's funny in this one. Have you seen that?
No.
He's at a bank. I think he's at a bank.
Right.
And the guy, he's trying to get money out or something. The guy says, and your name is? And he goes, Bond. And the guy looks at him and he goes, James Bond. Now that's funny.
Yeah.
But it really is, some people are getting, gosh, I didn't expect that. Some people are getting turned on at my acceptance speech. Rachel says, keep talking.
Rachel.
Got
very specialist interests.
What are the awards shaped like this year? Just so is it because the
they're
one
quite large and flat.
Well, when
time,
we won 2
they?
Years ago, it was quite long. It was long and cylindrical. I could do that
with some quite hard ridges on.
Yes, okay, that's the thing. No, I don't like this new Bond, this Daniel Craig. I don't think he's very good. I can't wait for him to retire, and we get a black lesbian Bond. I'd love it. I used to be one of those people that would do phone-in shows, and I'd argue that you can't have a black Bond. And then about 6 months ago, it hit me, oh, yeah, he's not real, is he? Also, he could be a she, he could be absolutely any ethnicity. It doesn't matter, because it's not a real person.
Also, are we supposed to think that they're all the same person all the way through? Well, because that would be a very, very old man.
I don't understand the canon of Bond and the time scale.
I think each one is its own
Well, yeah. If okay, all right. Well, this is it. This is the next hour.
Is George Lazenby Daniel Craig now?
Can someone explain James Bond to Katherine and myself, please? We don't get it. Turns out it's a lot more complicated than we thought. Because Doctor Who is Doctor Who all the time.
Yeah, but
John Pertwee
but they
is
can regenerate.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, they regenerate. Now Bond can't.
Oh, that'll be great. Oh, God, if at the end of A View to a Kill, Roger Moore gets shot, and then there's really crappy 80s special effects, and suddenly it's Timothy Dalton sits up and goes, "Is there a sexy lady with a cello?" And then it cuts, and then he comes back. That would be great. Oh. I only know that because that's it. There is one where Mariam Darbo.
Yeah, and
that was a great post. That's perhaps I would say the Living Daylights is the sexiest Bond poster because I think it's Mariam Darbo in an ankle length white dress with a light shining through it, and you can all the way through. That's great, but it's a lousy film.
I just remember them tobogganing on her case.
Yeah, it's James Bond regenerating. Now that would be. It would
make more sense, wouldn't it, if it's just all the people who've ever been 007, right? That makes sense. But they can't all be the same fella.
You know,
he's not changed his drink for 50 years.
The George Lazenby one, he does reference Sean Connery. And what I tried to watch it's quite dry. It's not his fault, he's okay. He's a model, he wasn't an actor really, but it's quite dry. But from what I can remember, and there'll be Bond fans who'll know this better than me, there's like a long sort of chase and a fight at the beginning. And there's a fight on the beach, and he nearly gets killed, but he wins it. And he kind of gets up and dusts himself down. It's absolutely true. And Lazenby looks at the camera and said, "Well, this never happened to the other fella." Then it starts.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really weird. 0344 499 1000. Can someone explain Bond to us? His dredge.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new film, We're All Going to Die.
I wonder what it's about.
I don't know. George Lazenby, he was quite lazy, wasn't he? He was lazy, hence the name Lazenby.
That's how he got his name. People used to call him George Busybee, and then he would always turn up late for work. And so Cubby Broccoli said, "You know what? I'm going to call this guy George Lazenby." And then he went up.
That film was terrible. That film was terrible.
It was very dry, wasn't it? It wasn't a great story. But Casino, that was on Her Majesty's Secret Service, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dry.
At one point, I'm pretty sure this happens. At one point, some sort of villain falls into a crushing machine, and all this blood comes out, and that doesn't normally happen in Bond films. And then he looks at the camera, George Lazenby, and he says, "He had guts." I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah, no, that makes...
The worst joke ever in Bond is in that film.
That makes sense. I mean, I was a late comer to Brosnan, because I didn't think I'd like Brosnan, because it's all quite soft-focused, Brosnan, but actually... He was a great Bond.
He's really good.
He was good.
I thought he was going to be too smooth, but he was actually quite funny as well, wasn't he?
He was great. So I would say, in descending order, Moore, Brosnan, Craig, Dalton, Lazenby, Connery.
Connery last?
Yeah, it's awful.
No, I like him the best.
Awful, boring, crap, lazy, hairy-chested, old-fashioned, dull, boring films. The type of films where, when they're driving in a car, you can almost see the projector flicker behind them. You know, though, when they're driving in a car.
That's not his fault.
No, I know, but I hate those type of films.
Do you not like Sean Connery at all?
Are you... Is this guy listening to me?
Don't you like any of his films?
Is this guy listening to me?
I can't believe it. I can't believe you don't like him either.
Is this guy listening to me?
Octopussy.
Hello?
He's not in Octopussy.
I know, but that's because he couldn't say
Can this guy hear me, though?
Never say never again.
Can this guy hear me?
Hello?
Because he's... Can you hear me?
No.
Right, so he can't hear me. Because... Sorry, Katherine.
Yeah.
At what point did I say I don't like Sean Connery?
Well, by putting him last, that's a suggestion.
No. Sorry. Listen to the question, then relay it to this.
I don't see why I've got to be the go-between in this.
This guy's going to get a knuckle sandwich.
Friendly.
Not friendly with this guy. At what point did I say I don't like Sean Connery films? Which is what he's accused me of saying.
Well, that's what he's asking you. I think that's the inquiry.
Well, he is in quite a few James Bond films.
Yeah.
You've just put him last, therefore you don't like Sean Connery.
Can you hear me now?
Not really.
Right, okay. I'm going to... Hang on a minute.
It was the way I was put through.
Dan says, my dad worked on the Goldfinger Aston Martin. It's a shame Bond films are just shit movies with good songs. It's like Tommy the movie. I like Sean Connery. I don't like Sean Connery as Bond. And actually, the only good Sean Connery film I can think of is The Rock.
Have you heard of The Hill?
Yeah, I've seen it. Rubbish. Next.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's rubbish.
You're welcome.
What about when he's the Spaniard in The Highlander?
Rubbish. I've never seen Highlander.
Oh, it's so good.
I
mean,
don't-
it's awful, but it's great.
I don't think
What
so.
about... Oh, no, hold on, wait a minute. What about in the Indiana Jones films?
In what,
the
sorry?
what now?
In what, sorry?
He's in the Indiana Jones film, isn't
Is this
he?
guy from Eton? Have we got a toff on the line? It's one of Boris Johnson's children. Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Who's that?
What am I, how am I meant to say it?
I can't hear you.
Testing.
Katherine, do you want to educate Lord Dredge of Eton?
What is it?
I don't want to spoil things for him. I think he's living his own special life.
I think we'll just let you carry on thinking it's pronounced Indiana Jones.
Well, what is it then?
Thanks for your call, Dredge.
What's it, Indy?
Is there anything you want to plug before we let you go?
I'm not going to plug anything.
Okay.
I've thought of an idea for a new game.
Oh, yeah, go on.
You have to talk for 60 seconds without using the letter A. It's called Just Minute.
You should have...
Now you can say thanks for your call, Dredge.
I'm not going to say thank you for your call. You can say thank you to me for pointing out I've started you on the road of self-discovery. I look forward to your next phone call when you're going to pronounce Indiana Jones correctly.
Indiana Joneser?
Genius. That's genius. Thank you, Dredge. 0344 499 1000. An hour has gone, and I don't think we've talked about anything. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 with Iain and Kath on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio. Across the UK. Late Night with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
And here is the news. My name is Amelia Dix. We've all got coronavirus, and we're all dying. But Boris Johnson's having a new baby with another lady, not the one that lives with him in number 10. It's a new lady. It's one that he met on a bus and impregnated on a bus with his powerful seed. That's the news. What happened there, Alex? Did you lose the news?
There was no news.
There was no news. Well, that's
No,
good.
they just basically said no. It's all coronavirus, and everyone's bored of that.
Okay, well that's not such good news then. I thought maybe we'd cured it, but we haven't cured it. Indiana Jones wouldn't stand for that. Indiana Jones. They're boring films though. I don't like films. I don't really like olden days.
Oh, I liked the Indiana Jones films when I was a kid.
No, he's making another one, isn't he?
Oh, he's too old now.
Yeah, he's making another one. I can't be bothered, really.
You don't have to. I don't think they're compulsory yet.
I'd feel a bit weird that we've now got this extra 3 minutes. I don't get paid extra for I don't get paid for this 3 minutes.
This is a 3-minute freebie.
Gerald sent me. I'm legally not allowed to comment on that picture I've just been sent on my Twitter feed because I will lose my job. But thank you, Gerald. All of your irritating phone calls have suddenly been worthwhile for that. Thank you. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to someone. Well, we learned a lot about them last night on our new feature, Barren Wasteland, or Barren Greenback, or I don't know. It's Gatford.
Hey, it's so weird that I just spoke to Dylan. It's bizarre.
Oh, because you've got a 250-yard exclusion zone on you, haven't you?
Yeah, there is that. But I was just thinking, I remember when Dylan was born.
Oh, yeah, we would have talked about it on air. Are you the doctor that delivered him? No, we would have talked about it on air. Dylan? How's Dylan? The woman... What was her name?
Dylan.
What was her name?
Jean.
Jean used to find out. Ian, how's Dylan?
How's Dylan?
It's funny, isn't it?
And then your genius way of getting rid of him by going, thanks for your call, Jean.
There we go. That's the great technique. We're going to get Dylan in the studio in a bit. I want to get the the young person's perspective.
He's even got a catchphrase. All good.
All good. All good.
All good.
How are you feeling? Thanks for your call last night, Gatford. It was.
That's okay.
It was. How do you feel after? For those who missed it, it was great. Sarah Barron, who's brilliant and we love, March the 9th to the 21st at the Soho Theatre. And we kind of gave her free rein with you for 10 minutes. And it was remarkable.
I had no idea it was going to go in that direction when I started. And there was a little bit of me this morning that woke up and went, yeah, but they overshare. But actually, I don't mind. It was all right. And she was very good at probing in the nicest possible way.
She's good. And here's the thing I am learning. For me personally, I find having all of my dirty secrets out there. I'm not saying that yours were dirty secrets at all. I don't mean that. But all of my kind of things that I find shameful or that I carry, having it out there is so freeing, right? For me personally, and it takes away a lot of my shame. I said this before. I'm so inspired, even though he's an idiot and a dick and rude to me, by Limmy's autobiography, right? Because he wrote about such intimate stuff almost as if he was shrugging his shoulders about it. And I found that so inspiring. And so what I'm trying to say in a very roundabout way is I really appreciated that you shared that stuff last night, and I hope that you feel some benefit, some positive out of doing it. I know everybody enjoyed it.
It took me somewhere I wasn't expecting to go, and as you say, there's something quite freeing about that.
Yeah.
But I didn't plan to say any of that, and it just came out, so therefore it was honest.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was weird. Weird but good.
God, she better do a podcast. I want to listen to that.
Oh man,
She's
yeah,
great.
I want to go on it. I read up because you were talking about work experience.
Oh yeah. So we got Dylan here doing his work experience, and I just wondered what people's work experience things were. Mine was I got a week at Windsor Theatre, and I watched them rehearsing and prepping a play about a magician who commits a murder. The play's title, Abracadabra. Oh. They're terrible. And when I saw it, it was set in the 70s. And then I heard that it went on tour and they set it in like the 1920s. But what was, and I was there for a week and I didn't really have to do anything. I just sat in the stalls and watched them rehearse, painted a little bit of the set, you know. But at one point I read the programme and I saw a name on it and I worked out who that person was out of these group of people that were there. And I went up to this gentleman, this older gentleman. I said, I'm really sorry. Are you Ali Bongo? And he kind of turned to me and he went, he was just sat there in his normal clothes. And he went, yeah. And I'm 15-year-old me melted. I went, oh my God, I'm such a big fan. Now, Ali Bongo will mean nothing to most of you, right? He's one of the greatest magicians, and he used to, it would be considered cultural appropriation now, but he'd sit there in like a sort of Arabian Nights sort of pointy round hat and a big colour, and he would do tricks. And he designed and devised a lot of the tricks for Paul Daniels. If you watch an old Paul Daniels, it will say at the end, you know, writer or program associate Ali Bongo. And so I was getting to meet, on my work experience, I was getting to watch Ali Bongo help direct this play and come up with magic tricks. It was incredible. And I wish I'd had the courage to say, look, I know you're really busy, but like after to work today, could I like buy your coffee, or could I just sit with you for 10 minutes and have a chat? Of course I didn't. And I'm sure you would have been very amenable to it. But yeah, so work experience stories, please. 0344 499 1000. Yes, Gatford.
Mine is that at our school we were told we could have 2 weeks. 1 week we could sort out, and 1 week the school sorted out.
Okay.
So of course on my one, I did week's worth experience at Computer and Video Games magazine.
Oh, the old C&VG. Wow.
C&VG with old Julian Rignall, for those in the know. A week playing Kick-Off 2 and all the new releases and Turrican and things like that. That was great. And went home with an absolute bundle full of games that they just gave me at the end of the week. It was fantastic. But the second week, organised by the school, was working in a bailiff's admin office. And I lasted a day because at lunchtime, in fact, I lasted till lunchtime, The morning was just making coffee, filing, boring. And then at lunchtime, the manager came into like this sort of office pool, and said, "We've just had the normal phone call. Someone very upset that we've taken all their stuff. If he turns up, normal procedure, don't open the door, call the police." I just thought, at 16, who needs that? And this was their normal procedure. Wow. It wasn't like, I'm alerting you to the fact that this might happen. It's, if he turns up, same as always, don't open the door, call the police.
Flipping heck, man. By the way, if you've ever walked out of a job and not gone back, 0344 499 1000. In fact, anything you've walked out of, we'll take calls on that. That's always a good thing.
I went to my nan's and never went back. She lived around the corner.
Gafford's a pussy, we're learning here. No, I'm joking. Yeah, there's no... I was thinking the other day, I'm trying to grow as a person, right? I'm trying to become a better and a kinder and a nicer person. And I used to really enjoy, and I'm kind of ashamed to say this, I used to really enjoy programmes, what they call poverty porn. Can't Pay Will Take It Away was the one. Can't Pay Will Take It Away. A show about bailiffs going around to people whose lives... Some of them are a-holes, but some of them, they're good people whose life, they're just a little bit behind, or they're caught out. And they're humiliated by A, having the bailiffs turn up, and B, filmed for Channel 5. And I used to love that show. I used to love it. And then about 2 or 3 years ago, I started feeling guilty watching it, but I still watched it. And now, when I skip through the channels on the TV and I see it, I shudder. I shudder to think that I used to watch people having their lives destroyed for entertainment.
But knowing what you know from your streams on a Sunday night, all those people that sign release forms, does that not change your opinion?
No, because two things. One, I'm not sure they would have had to sign release forms on that, because it could be argued that it's in the public interest. It could be argued that they are criminals and that this is in the public interest, right? So I'm not sure, and you'd have to speak to the TV lawyer to find out. I don't think they would have had to sign release forms. Two, I know if they did sign release forms, I know how charming. If you're a 50-year-old guy and you've just had someone come in and you've had to stump up $3,500, then a very beautiful 18, 19, 20-year-old young researcher says, well, that was great, and they start flirting you with you, or vice versa. It's a beautiful young I know how charming those beautiful young people can be when they're flirting with you, saying, well, of course we'll show it this way, and we probably won't show. It can be really easy to trick someone into signing.
Also, you want the whole thing to be over. Yeah. Whatever, just get out. I'll sign whatever
you sign it just to
This is your chance to show your side of the story. All of that
Well,
rubbish.
You're mortified as well. You just want it to be finished.
I don't think they would have had to sign a release form for that. I do know that they repeat it on like all these Channel 5 channels, and one family sued because it had been on like 30 times, and one family sued and said it was like harassment or it was something, and that was upheld. So now if you watch one of the many repeats on like 5 Star or one of their other channels, nearly all of the faces will be pixelated out because they kind of the judge ruled, showing it once is fine, showing it as this is what makes me think they didn't sign release. Showing it once is fine, showing it as a repeat is fine, but after like 1 or 2 or 3 showings, it's exploitative and you can't do that. The whole thing's exploitative.
Well, and it's no longer contemporaneous. So, 5 years down the line when you put your life back together, you don't particularly want that being flashed up on the telly, do you?
Yeah. But I used to love that programme. I probably used to series link it on the Sky. And I shudder. And this is, that life is a marathon, not a sprint. We're evolving. And there's still a part of me that would still like to watch that programme, but I know that it's not good for me and it's not good for the planet that programme exists, so I won't watch it.
Culturally, we're shifting, aren't we? Because I remember being a student and it was all Ricky Lake and Jerry Springer, and we just couldn't believe our eyes that these people were bearing their souls on TV. And
one of my, as we're going for it, Gatford, as a tribute to your call yesterday, one of my most shameful experiences. My wife and I went, ex-wife now, but we were married.
I remember this.
Yeah, we went to New York and we got tickets I tried to get tickets for loads of shows, and the only one we got tickets for was the Maury Povich show.
Yeah.
I saw one of his when I was in America,
Yeah.
and I'm not joking. This was the title, and this is very offensive, right? But this is what flashed up on the screen. Midgets, midgets, midgets. It was just, let's all laugh at people who were different.
This one was about...
That's on like mainstream telly,
I know.
isn't it?
It's a big show. It's a big show. For those who don't know, Maury Povich, big old show. Jeremy Kyle style, big show. And this one was about parents and their ill-behaved children. So they would bring out a parent, and then they would bring out their 14, 15-year-old kid, who would quite often come out going, "You piece of trash, I goddamn hate you." And it ended with all of the kids being taken away...
Boot camp, is it?
...by police and put in prison.
Oh.
Right. And these were like kids... These were 14. Some of them, I think, had smoked crack, stolen from their parents... got into fights, have been in trouble with the police, knives, guns, drugs. And I'm there. I remember exactly what I was wearing. I put a really nice brown jacket with the audience booing these kids. I'm booing these kids. I'm booing these kids. I'm booing these kids so much, right? Because I'm seeing it as pantomime, shouting, "Respect your mama."
Oh my God.
So much that one of the security people at Maury Povich asked me to calm down.
Wow.
I was being too loud. I'm ashamed of this. I've mentioned this a couple of times. And I bought into the circus freak show element of it, when of course I should have stood up and gone, these are kids. These are kids. And I say this, and I am ashamed of this, but it happened, and I've seen the episode, and you can see me. You can see me. And I've had people get in touch a couple of times at different points, obviously repeated, going, were you in the audience of Maury Povich? And the reason I say it is because people can change. People can change. And I look back on that with horror and with shame, and people can change. And that is not me. It wasn't really me then. I don't quite know what was going on. I was caught up with being in New York. I was showing off to her. I think she was my girlfriend then. Whatever. But...
Plus, to us, it was extraordinary, sort of different kind of television, wasn't it? We couldn't believe what we were seeing.
But also, what was interesting is these parents had gone on there because they wanted Maury Povich
to straighten their
to
kids
help
out.
them.
Yeah.
And what happened, right, is he would sit there and he would get their stories, and as soon as he went, okay, we'll be back after this break, right, the parent would go to talk to him, he'd get up and he'd just walk off. And you wouldn't see him for 3 or 4 minutes. Then he'd come back, sit back down. Welcome back to Maury Povich. Wouldn't have any interaction with them during the break. And
gosh, he wasn't nice, Uncle Maury.
No, he was an a-hole. He was a b-hole. He wasn't a c-hole though. And so I did that.
That's very, very enlightening.
Thank you, Gafford. Appreciate your call. 0344 499 1000. On the other scale, the other end of the scale, we have got... You remember... It's a different scale, actually. You remember conspiracy theorists? Like, late 90s, early 2000s, a bit quiet on the phones. OK, we'll do a phone-in on conspiracy. Give us your conspiracy theories. And people would phone up and talk about how they were receiving alien signals through their brains, and we would all snigger at them, and Princess Diana was murdered by the Jewish Secret Service. You know, we'd all snigger because she was going out with a Muslim, and we'd all snigger at them, and the host would be sniggering, and the people listening would be sniggering. We don't have the snigger anymore. People aren't sniggering. So I'm going to snigger. At some conspiracy theories, okay? Because someone has to, otherwise they get taken seriously. This is a tweet from someone called Jamie. It's to another show on the station. I won't say which other show.
By the way, have you noticed, it's almost always written down. Very, very seldom do they actually call.
I think they're talking about coronavirus, although they call it cornaviral. Cornaviral, carefully crafted and designed in a laboratory by the communist Chinese government in coalition with the global left wing, the UK Labour Party, and the mainstream media to try and bring down the straight-talking right wing in Europe. Drain the swamp.
Gosh.
I'm laughing at you, Jamie, because that is the dumbest... Oh, you would say that. You're the mainstream media. So is the host you sent it to. She works for Murdoch as well. We all work for Rupert Murdoch. And thank you, Mr. Murdoch, for paying my mortgage and feeding my kids. I'm not in any way saying that as a criticism of him. But you don't get much more MSM. It's actually MM, because mainstream is one word, than him. And we all work for him in this building. And you are so thick. The coronavirus is made by the Chinese government and the UK Labour Party and the media to silence the right wing. This is the kind of stuff that people would phone up at on a phone-in show at 10 past midnight on a Saturday night, and everyone goes, that's a great point, carry on. But now, there are thousands of people like this who believe this.
Do you know the scariest part of this? He's got that from someone else.
0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Jamie, I think Jamie's actually listening because he keeps tweeting now. Give us a call, Jamie. You'll get a fair crack of the whip. Absolutely promise you. 0344 499 1000. Because he's done quick quest, mate. Who are you? But he's done mate as in M and the number. What would it be? 8. Oh, he's done a 9. M and 9.
You're joking. You're joking.
He spelt mate wrong. He's done M9.
Well, he's a very busy man.
Quick quest 9. Jamie, give us a call, man. Let's have a chat. We'll have a laugh. Let's go to Ricky first of all. Good evening, Ricky.
Hello, Iain.
Hello, Ricky.
How's it going?
Do you want to fight?
A fight?
Punch up.
No, I'm all right, mate. I'm not into that.
All right. How about kick fight? No fists, just legs.
Oh, I could give you a good hammering if I wanted to.
Oh, Ricky just challenged me to a fight. You heard that?
That went from 0 to hammering.
All right, let's do it. Let's have a kick fight.
Boxing match for charity.
Whoa! No. You said no fists.
No, if we use gloves, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, no. Use. First of all, right? Why has everything got to be for charity? Screw charity. Charity. Do you know how much charity gets every year, Ricky?
How much?
A lot, right? A lot.
Yeah.
So screw charity. Why can't people just do things for the pleasure of being idiots?
Well, charity is good. It helps save lives.
Charity.
Some charities aren't good.
Some charities are bad.
Some charities are funding terror.
Yeah, the terror charities.
They're bad.
Yeah.
Generally.
Well,
excuse me, mate. Could you spare any change for terrorists? Yeah. I don't think I've got any. Here, have this $5. Hello, we're collecting for terrorists. I just wondered if we could possibly get your bank details. Yeah, sure, not a problem at all.
As long as I get a sticker.
You're a bad man.
Sticker.
You're a bad man, Iain.
You're a bad man. I'm a bad man! Ricky, get to the point. I swear to God, I'm going to kill you.
I thought, you said you wanted, what was it, random pleasures, is it?
Yeah, sure, small pleasures. Yeah, go on.
So, Doctor Who?
No, what's this?
Doctor Who, you never heard of Doctor Who?
No, what's this?
What? You never heard of Doctor Who? Regeneration, David Tennant, Matt Smith, all them.
What? No, I don't know. What is it? Is it a film?
No, Doctor Who was a television show on BBC One. What happened was...
don't know it.
Matt Smith was on...
What's it about?
It's about an alien that changes into different characters every, couple of years.
Sounds boring.
No, it's brilliant. You should watch it on
An
BBC
alien that changes into different characters every couple of years? That's slow. That is a slow burn.
And it's great. It's good.
All
Anyway...
right. And what was it called? Doctor when?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. All right, I'm going to check that out.
Right. Anyway... Listen, he at the start of it, he eats fish fingers and custard, and I always thought, what that looks interesting. So I actually tried it, custard and fish fingers, and it's actually really nice.
I tell you what I had at Cosmo the other day for dessert. I wasn't going to have a dessert. And then I saw it, I thought, I'm so having that.
What was it?
Bananas in custard. Bananas in custard.
What, like it was the war?
Bananas in custard, and they called it banana custard, and I went, I'm having that. And it was it was cold. I normally have it warm. It was the most banana custard. It was the most, and it really, just calling it banana custard underplays
banana custard, please?
It underplays the fact there were actually bananas in the custard. It was incredible, Ricky. Unlike your pathetic phone call. 0344. Doctor Who, A, is not a real programme. B, he doesn't eat custard with fish fingers, does he? Where's Geeky Pete? Pete, is there any truth, before I completely cut Ricky off? Now, this will be the test to see if Pete's listening to the show, and if he's not, he's blocked. Pete, is there any truth that Doctor Who eats custard with his fish fingers? Let's see if Pete takes part, and if Pete doesn't take part, that means Pete isn't listening. That means Pete is reported to the police, to the authorities, for being a terrorist.
And cancelled.
Stay there, Ricky. Stay there. Let's go to Alistair. Oh, no, hang on a minute. Let's try again. If I go to Alistair.
Greetings, music lovers.
Oh.
I'm wearing that T-shirt which says, music is my therapy.
What T-shirt's that?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, good evening.
Welcome.
I was in a bit flap just before your show started.
You were in some what?
In a flap.
In a flap, okay.
My TV stopped working, and the app that I listen to you on is actually part of the TV, and it kept turning itself on and turning itself off again.
Story of my life. Oh, cheeky bugger. Cheeky. Oh, you cheeky son, put that way. It's how I talk to myself all the time, and I live on my own.
Me too.
Oh, anyway. God, we owe that weird guy, the pervert that just, that last caller, Ricky, an apology.
Yeah. Why?
Doctor Who did have custard and fish fingers.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
I know he's got like 2 hearts. I didn't know he had fish fingers.
I don't know why. We don't know the whys or wherefores. So Ricky, Alex, could you get Ricky back, please? I need to, Ricky, don't lose that number. I need to apologise. Thank you. And Pete, thank you for being a true fan. A true fan and keeping it staunch, Pete. You're one of the greatest fans a guy could have. Thank you. Staunch. Yes, Alistair.
So I just wanted to wish you good luck for tomorrow evening.
Thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
Everyone knows we're not going to win.
Because an 8-year-old has hexed us.
Oh. Unfortunately, I'm trying to see if it's going to be broadcast.
No.
It's not.
It'll be really boring. It'll be boring being there. But here's the thing. If we do lose, I'm going to stand up and go, it's a fix! Her 8-year-old hexed us! Matthew Wright's up there getting his award. That's ours, you son of a gun!
And the second thing was, I just wanted to say, when you talked about last night about Peter Andre, whether he hugged people or touched people or not, whether that was a lie. When I come to your show in Birmingham in April, will you let me touch you?
Here's my thing. We'll see where we are in April. I'm actually thinking no. Because I'm starting to get precautious about this corona thing. At the thing tomorrow night, I'm not going to shake hands.
No.
I did a recording today of a podcast with Ellis James and Lucy Beresford, and there were 4 other people there, right? And I came in and I shook everyone's hand. And Lucy came in and went, I hope you don't think I'm rude. I'm not going to shake hands because of the coronavirus. And I thought, yeah. And last night, when we finished and Daryl took over, he came in with some disinfectant wipes and wiped down the headphones. He probably got his own headphones. Wiped down the desk, wiped down the faders. And my initial reaction, as it always is in those things, is, what an idiot. And then I've been thinking about it all day and I thought, yeah, that's a sensible precaution. We had Lizzie Cundy in here. She just got back from Italy. Imagine Lizzie Cundy spreading it all over the place. It could be awful. So I tried to get some disinfectant wipes today to use in the studio, and I couldn't find any. So
No, they said a young man from Bolton had bought the whole lot.
and Daryl tried to sell me a pack for £25. So I'm going to see where we are in terms of the coronavirus in April, but I think possibly not. Possibly not. And I hope people take that for the way it's intended. I've got an old bum and I've got kids, and I actually think the coronavirus is I don't think it's going to kill thousands of people in this country. But I think it's going to be a bit of a thing. I think it has to spread. It has to spread and get a bit bigger. And I would like to make it so that I can see my kids, really. So, in answer to your question, Alistair, we will see where we are in April.
Okay.
But I'm going to reserve the right to say no. Yeah, precautious.
Why not? I mean, they reckon only 1% of those who have it will pass. But,
they think it's between... No, they think it's higher than that.
Is it?
Yeah, I've heard figures of between 2 and 3% mortality rate, whereas the flu... Let me get this right, hang on. Mortality rate of coronavirus. I've been following this. Oh, no, it's 100% of people die. No, that can't be right. Hang on. The fatality rate... Coronavirus fatality rates vary dramatically. Okay, just give me the basic stats, you piece of trash. The samples overall... Okay, some estimates say 1%, some say 2.3%. So, in a way, we are both right.
Yeah.
Whereas the flu is like 0 point something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyway, I look forward to the show in April.
Thank you, mate. We look forward to seeing you too.
I'll still enjoy it, even though I won't be able to shake your hand.
Okay, nice one. We'll wave at you from a distance. Nice one, Alistair. Thank you as always. We need to... Ricky, I would like to offer you the humblest of apologies. I was a piece of trash and you are a god. You're not worthy. I am not worthy of licking the toe jam from between your toes. I am sorry. Yes, my geeky, idiotic Doctor Who fans who are the scum of this show have said that you're right. Doctor Who does eat custard and fish fingers. And I'm sorry.
They all got my back.
And you tried it.
I did, and it was lovely. You should try it, Ian, honestly. Get that fish fingers down your throat, and custard, cold fish fingers. It can't be hot.
That sounded like a threat. Get that fish finger down your throat.
Get those fishy fingers down your throat, Ian.
Ricky, you are a very, very depraved human being, but I still apologise. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Working, sit down, take a load off, let's get this microphone up, let's get some real broadcasting going. No, next one, along. No, you're fine. We've got Dylan is our work experience this week, and you've been answering the phones?
Yes,
Have people been polite to you?
Yeah, so far I haven't met a sweary person.
Okay, well, can you see the tweets in there?
No, I don't.
Good. That's because I've been getting someone's threatened to kill me with coronavirus.
Gosh.
Yes.
Well, if they've got it and they're feeling up to it, that's good news, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's the usual guy who tells me to kill myself. He's still going. Why is he listening? Weirdo.
I think he's a bit obsessed.
I think John needs help. I think John needs therapy more than I ever could. You've been helping Alex with the phones.
Yeah.
Well, how come you two are getting on so well? What's going on?
I don't know.
He's just a cool guy, is he?
I guess so.
Okay, all right. Well, it feels like there's something going on between you two that we're not privy to. Like you're starting a mutiny or something.
What you don't understand is that what goes on in there.
Yeah.
That's their gang.
Yeah.
We're a different gang.
We are.
They're not going
to
tell us.
We are a different gang. How are you finding it, Dylan?
Yeah, it's good so far.
You enjoying it?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You were on a bit of a high last night. Have you come crashing down to earth when you realise that this is all pointless and really no one benefits from it?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So work experience. So we're talking about work experience. This is your work experience.
Yes.
And so this is through the school?
Yeah, well, do the council and do the school.
Okay, and I know that me and your mum kind of had to jump through a few hoops because it's not doing this isn't the traditional work experience in as much as it finishes at 1 o'clock at night, and there was a whole question of how's he going to get home? Is he going to be safe? Who's going to keep an eye out for him? And obviously, I'm taking you home, which is an absolute pleasure. We had a great chat last night about UFOs and time travel. That's where the real show happened. So we had to jump through a few hoops. What were there other options of what you could have done? And I know you've been to work with your dad as well. Were there other options of what you could have done as work experience?
Well, the council told me that I was allowed to work here, but the school seemed to think that they didn't.
Losers.
So they took me out of a few of my classes and they showed me all the other options.
Go on.
Showed me all the other options to replace this week, and
what could you have done instead?
Well, it was one, and it was to work in a front desk at a computer.
Work in a front desk at a computer?
Yeah, so it was like at a desk taking like calls and like complaints, basically.
Complaints, you say? Suddenly I'm interested. So actually quite similar to this show. And that's listen, those are important jobs. You know, everybody's job is important, and I certainly wouldn't knock it. And I get why I was joking saying your school was scumbags. I get it, because they got your safety at heart, and also they want to make sure that we're not like drinking loads and doing loads of drugs, and and we've made sure we do that behind your back, so you don't see that. Cut right down. But yeah, no, I can understand that. And what other kind of stuff were your friends doing, your peers doing? What jobs have they got?
A lot of Tesco.
Right.
Yeah, most people are working in Tesco. A few people are working in vets. That's a lot of people working in...
Vets would be quite an interesting one to work in, I guess, if you dig animals.
Yeah, there's a lot of horse girls working in vets.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are working in, like, primary schools and stuff.
It just seems like a way to get cheap labour, doesn't it? Really.
If you get someone good, if you get someone who's hopeless, it's a pain, isn't it, for a week?
Yeah, it is. Work experience, I don't think, was compulsory at our school. It was if you wanted to and you could find an outlet, you were encouraged to, but it wasn't... This was compulsory, right? You had to do something.
If you don't, then they send you to do all the janitor works at school.
At the school?
Yeah.
Is there anyone doing that?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Quite a lot?
Yeah.
God. Because I would have found... at 14, I was shy, man. I was really shy, and I found it very difficult to act... I find it very... I mean, I was loud with my friends and obnoxious with my friends. But around adults, I became very subservient. I've got a real issue with kind of older men for various reasons, and I would become very subservient and very quiet and would couldn't give my opinion on something. Does that kind of ring true with you, do you think, or...
It depends, it depends how friendly the person is.
Yeah. You've been very helpful these two shows. You've been coming up with some stories and finding some bits and pieces. And I'm going to send you on another drinks run in a minute. I'm sorry, but that's what you're lucky. You've only made one round of drinks so far. Most work experience, but this isn't what you want to do.
Well, I mean, that's what work experience is for. To see if it is or if it isn't. But I don't really know yet.
No, but also because I know that you do stuff on YouTube.
Not very much anymore.
Okay, you've knocked that on the head, have you?
Yeah, basically.
And is that something you'd want to pursue more, or do you think you're kind of done?
That's the dream for most children and early teenagers, but you see quite quickly that's not really realistic.
The moment's kind of gone, hasn't it? You have to get there at a certain time to get that wave.
A few years back. Because YouTube's dying completely now.
YouTube's terrible for monetization now. They've changed the rules completely.
Yeah, there's they changed it so you can like choose whether you think your video is able to get monetization, but then I don't know, it's really strict because so if you're if your channel is mainly for children's content, you actually earn less money than you would if it was for older. So a lot of children's channels have had to make it more about teenagers and
Right, yeah.
adults just to make, more money to do the
But there is, here's the thing, because a lot of people our age, Catherine, a lot of presenters go, YouTubing isn't a real job. YouTube, being an influencer, that's not a real job. Well, actually, it is now. It is, and people still can make it as a streamer. And I include YouTube and Twitch and all what's the one on Xbox? Mixer. There's all these, people can make it. It's not very many, in the same way that when we were kids, people could become pop stars.
Yeah.
People became pop stars. But it was a tiny, tiny number of people that wanted to be pop stars that actually became pop stars.
But at the same time, God, I was making radio shows in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And imagine having had that facility when we were... perhaps it's a good thing that we couldn't, because, I was terrible to my staff, my sister. But... my eldest daughter says, we were having this conversation in the car the other day, and she said, I don't know what I want to do, maybe a YouTuber. And I said, you know what, it'll probably be something different by the time you grow up. But at the same time, I wouldn't rule it out.
No.
Like when we wanted to get into... Well, when I decided I was going to try and get into radio... how dare I?
Well,
someone's got to do it.
I wanted to be an actor, and as I told you can't be an actor. That will never happen. Well, actually, I've been in a movie with some big stars, and I've been in a TV series acting. All right, they weren't great, and I wasn't good at it, but... And also, it could be argued that this job itself is kind of a variation of acting, because there's a little bit of theatre involved. So to be completely dismissed from that, and when you hear these old farts, it's normally white men my age, and well, what is this YouTubing nonsense? It's not a career. Well, you tell that to people like Dan TDM, who's worth 25 million. You tell that to those people who have become successful.
Yeah, to be as successful as that, you kind of had to start YouTube a few years ago, and then just keep on doing it and get lucky.
Yeah.
That's basically what had to have happened. If you start YouTube now, unless you're insanely good at something or you're already famous on like a different platform, it's quite unlikely.
Also, you have to put the hours in as well.
Yeah,
it's not like you go on and you do 20 minutes a day. You've got to go and film the stuff. You've got to edit the stuff. You've got to be good. You've got to have the personality to do it.
Not all these people are acting as sole traders either, are they? Let's be honest. I remember when I first started watching makeup tutorials on YouTube about 5-6 years ago, maybe more than that. I remember thinking, these girls are great, and they just seem to be doing it from their bedrooms. And then you look at the contact details, and there's an agency involved. This is a very slick operation for a lot of them.
What was... the names just popped in my head. Martha Lane Fox. Wasn't she like one of the first... remember the .com millionaires? Wasn't she like the first British .com millionaire? When the internet started, sort of like 98, 99, 2000, when it really started to take off. And quite a lot of people... very quickly made a lot of money, and people were like, well, they were calling it like the new gold mining in, you go to California to gold mine. This was the new gold mining. Everyone's going to get rich. And a load of people got rich, but then a load of people lost a load of money, including, I think, Martha Lane Fox.
She co-founded lastminute.com.
Right, okay.
In the early 2000s. She's 47.
She's a baby.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's that when you go,
But did she lose it, or was she one of the few that retained it?
Let's see.
Then
she was appointed Chancellor of the Open University in 2014.
Let's go back in time to about 2006, 2005.
No, I think she...
Maybe she
did all right.
Okay, well, good for her then.
She resigned from her position as digital champion in late 2013. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, if you want to phone in with your work experience stories, you're very, very welcome to. Your small pleasures. I've got some stories and bits and pieces. If you want to give us a call about anything, dear listener, 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I tell you what, because the call's a bit quiet tonight. So let's have a quick round of pass the chat on. Now, explain the rules to the listener who may not know what it is. Dylan, you can sit here and, if this works, it'll be a laugh. If it don't work, nothing wasted. Gosh, what is that lip balm?
Is that a minty one? Quite simply, dear listener, you give us a ring, you go straight to air. For how long? Well, that very much depends on when the next caller calls. It could be 10 seconds, it could be 10 minutes, it could be for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
We can't put the phone down on you unless you are racist, offensive.
Well, Offensive is personal.
You know, if you're using offensive language, for example.
Don't say the M word because that's racist. So you'd have been repeating yourself.
No, I never said it.
Well, that's what you were thinking.
No, I said offensive, for example. So, yeah, that.
You said you were about to say an offensive word.
I wasn't.
To illustrate offensivity.
Why would I do that?
To illustrate offensivity, because you were basically going up a cul-de-sac.
I wasn't. Ring us up. Stop showing off. 0344 499 1000's the phone number.
And now we wait. You phone up, you're on until someone else phones up, and we just wait, Dylan. We just wait. And this is one of, if any skill you're learning this week, the skill to sit inside a sound-proofed studio and say nothing. That's the skill. With the lights down low, that's the skill. Now we just wait. Give the phone number out, please, Dylan.
0344 499 1000.
Oh. I like that at the end. That was good. All right, we wait. We got a call. If you want to stop this call, you've got to phone up 0344 499 1000. Good evening, line 1. You're on the wireless.
Oh, that was quick. I was expecting Dylan to answer the phone. Hello, Ian.
Dylan can answer the phone if you want to talk to him. Dylan, you're through to Russ.
Hey, Ross.
Well, you've bypassed it. Oh, hello, mate. You're doing a grand job. Actually, I can't even say that, can I? Because you're doing a terrible job. You didn't answer the phone. Ian did. But you're doing a great job.
Is he doing a great job? Or is he doing a terrible job, Russ? I'm confused. He's confused. He's 14. This is an important age in his life. He's going to go home and just wonder.
Maybe I'm doing a mediocre job.
Hello, Cass. Let's have some sense. I phoned up to tell you
fresh out
why I believe... sorry, I don't mean to shout. Sorry, I'm just so far away.
No, I said fresh out sense. You're not shouting. You're speaking beautifully.
But also, I know you're far away, but that's what phones are invented for.
I know, yeah. It's clever, isn't it, really?
I'm like,
anyway,
let's call it. Yes.
I phoned up to tell you guys why I think you should win tomorrow's award.
Okay.
And it's honest, it's from the heart.
Uh-oh.
And I mean it.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm not changing the tone. What it is you guys have got a show format that no one else has got. Is that the death mark, isn't it?
No, this is love-making music, romantic saxophone music I'm playing now.
Oh, it sounds like the death march.
This sounds like the sort of music you used to have on those Red Triangle films.
But it's true. You have a format which is highly polished, because without either one of you, there's not much of it left, and that's not fair on Kath. When she stood in for you last week, she was amazing. She's a fantastic broadcaster, as are both of you equally. But the show was lacking a little bit.
What?
the show, and I feel like I wish I could do a side.
Ross, why'd you hate me so much?
Ross, it was going so well.
Why'd you hate me so much? All I've ever done is love you.
I know, but, the truth will out, won't it?
Well, it turns out,
Luckily for you, Ross, we're going to line 2 because someone else has just called in. Pass the chat on as soon as someone else phones up. Someone else comes on. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
I'm just going to pop Ross on my S list.
Yes, line 2.
God bless America.
It's Chuck Winkle.
And a very good evening to you and to little Dylan there with his little propeller on top of his hat and a Candy Crush on a stick.
Line 1, we're on the wireless. By the way, you can phone back as many times as you want.
Dylan. D-Y-L-A-N. D-Y-L-A-N.
This is weird.
Dylan.
I wonder what this song's called.
I can't cut it off until someone else calls in, so I'm sorry if you're feeling uncomfortable. What was your name again?
Michael.
Mike. Please, someone phone in. 0344 499 1000. Please.
D-Y-L-A-N. Dylan. Dylan.
Still going.
Dylan.
Line 2, you're on the wireless. Thank God, what took you so long?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of games you're playing here, John Wayne, but I got some really big serious news.
We are playing
Ring me
past
back.
the chat on, Chuck, and as soon as someone else calls in, we have to put them through. Isn't that right, Catherine?
It's true, even if it is Super Tuesday.
Yeah, pass the chat on. Right. Got some big news for you. Ring me back after 12 o'clock.
No.
But then it will be not
got
Super
it.
Tuesday anymore. Surely you've got some hot news.
Kathleen.
Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Wow.
Cassie. Cassie. And Dylan and Ian.
Line 2, you're on the wireless. Jeez. Hello, line 2.
No, it's you know the whistle thing that goes like that.
Oh, yeah?
That's the noise that's going like that.
Is that right, line 2? It's a whistle thing?
I think it's armpit farts mixed in with a whistle thing.
I'm so glad we've got you here to translate this.
Oh.
We can't cut this he or she, say he, off until someone else calls in. 0344 499 1000. Sounds like armpit farts, the whistle, and a baby. That's
Trapped under an armpit.
Line 1, you're on the wireless.
There's been a week over in America. We got the results of the awards tomorrow. Just letting you know. Thanks.
What awards? Our awards?
Yep.
Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Oh, no, come on.
Catherine.
Line 1, you're on the wireless.
So, I forgot to say that everyone in the country needs to watch Dark Waters, the movie. Great film, and you want to get rid of your Teflon pans afterwards. So, yeah.
That's got
my
Mark Ruffalo
recommendation.
in, who is dreamy.
Yes.
Yeah, but I followed him on
brilliant.
Twitter because I thought he was dreamy and then he got very dull.
Oh, he's boring. I mean, most people are boring, Catherine.
But he's dreamy with it.
Yeah, but he's, I mean, what's the thing? No
Like
one knows,
Brad
everyone
Pitt.
knows there's no such thing as a Mark Ruffalo.
A Ruffalo? What's a Ruffalo? A
Listen.
Ruffalo? Why didn't you know?
Yeah, it's a thing.
He's dreamy.
Alan says, I think you may have nicked this format from a previous US show. Tut. There's no such thing as an original idea, Alan. I think you may have nicked your last name from a famous dead left-handed guitarist, Alan Hendricks. So don't accuse us of the old plage when we're gonna find a plage pit for you. Anything else, Alistair?
Yeah.
Line 2, you're on the wireless.
The leak of the awards and reaction. You want to know who's won?
The leak of the... Right, so just Chuck... So you're in America, and for those who don't know, Chuck is our American correspondent. And for some for some reason, the British ARIA Radio Awards have been leaked to America.
Yeah, it's like when all that Elton John stuff came over here.
And all the Elton... So when Elton John was more famous in America than he was... Okay, all right. Well then... I mean, do you want to know, Catherine, or do you want to find out tomorrow?
No, I don't want to have to compose my face.
Go on then. Yeah, who's won?
Oh.
Line 1, you're on the wireless. Oh, God.
Ian.
He's a real human being.
It used to be a computer.
Ian.
Line 2, you're on the wireless, thank God.
Kathy shot for Catherine. Ian shot for Ian. Dale is shot for Dylan. Alex is shot for Alexander.
And he hung up on that bombshell. Alex, I've got to ask, is Alex short for Alexander?
Yeah.
How did he know? How did he know?
Psychic powers.
They're watching us! Right. That was fun. That was fun. We'll go back to normal services. You'll get either. Don't forget, if Dylan answers the phone to you, dear listener, you get 5 points. If Alex, short for Alexander, answers, you get 10 points. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You know the rules. You can phone in about absolutely anything. If you want to chat, about coronavirus, if you're worried about it, I mean, we've kind of we're not doing that now, Chuck.
You don't want to know?
Well, we're not doing that now. We finished the pass the chat on now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just bringing in to give you a news and one of the area.
We can't take the what?
The area.
We can't. Okay, well, if you phone back again, you can speak to Alex, which is apparently short for Alexander. I've worked with a guy for 15 years. I've only just learnt that. And then maybe you'll get on afterwards, after the news.
Alex, ring me back after 12. I'm a busy man.
No, you've got... No. You have to ring him up so that he can put the call in the system. He won't ring you back now. You have to ring him up.
Shove it up your ass.
Well, that's what you were planning to do with the award, should you win.
What has happened? All right. I think we all need to just cool out, everybody. Dylan... I would love some drinks, please. I've got a long list. I will tell you what that is in a minute. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain and Kath and Dylan and Alexander on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio. Across the UK. Late Night with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone fast with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine.
Here we go.
'Cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
0344 499 1000. We are off tomorrow, Katherine and I don't know who's doing the show, I don't care. We're at an awards ceremony, it's the Radio Oscars. Yep, we're up for 2 awards. If we win, we're going to get absolutely wasted and make a baby for the show.
No, we are not. Not enough booze in the world.
And if we don't win, we're going to get absolutely wasted. We're going to make 2 babies for the show. We'll have a good old night, a good old sing-song. We're going to see some old friends. Dealey will be there.
Dealey's going to be there.
And probably old boss.
Yeah. You'll be all right.
I don't want to talk to her.
You don't have to.
Good. I don't have to, do I?
It's a big room. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, it's the Palladium.
Dazzling London Palladium. I'm going to sneeze.
Yeah. So I don't want to speak to old boss. I've not forgiven them for the way that they treated me at old place where I was sacked, where I was forced to resign and forced to sign an NDA.
Yeah, how's that working out?
Yeah, I can stick it where the sun don't shine. I won't be paying them the 20 grand back. It was money that was owed to me. And simply because I stood up for my gay brothers and sisters. That's all. So we're there tomorrow night. Back Thursday and Friday. Then next week, I'm going down to 4 days a week, and Katherine is taking over on Fridays and doing the show a cappella, which I think means naked in some countries. And we're going to do that for 4, 5, 6 weeks, and I'm going to see if it makes my life better. I think it will, actually. The money is the thing, but I think that the reduction in stress, I think, is going to be significant, actually. It's going to be significant, and I'm looking forward to it. By the way, if you are program controller or head of programming at another radio station and you meet us tomorrow, come and say hi. It's a joke! It's a joke! 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. So earlier on, Danny Baker, who I'm a big, big fan of, posted something that looked fun to me. I haven't heard it, but it is... let's have a little... Let's get this up on YouTube, and we'll play some of it. It is from a television programme circa 1956 about mental health issues. And it's a housewife from the early 1950s taking LSD. So let's just have a little listen. Let's just see where this goes. Here we go. I love these old black and white things. Dr. Sidney Cohen interviews a research subject and administers LSD to her at the Los Angeles Veterans Administration Hospital. Because for a long time, they thought LSD was the cure for schizophrenia, depression, all of these.
Wasn't Cary Grant on some sort of experimental...
Cary Grant was a big fan of LSD.
Thing.
Frankie Howard took LSD as part of a treatment to stop him being gay.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
Well, it didn't stop him being gay. I think he had a breakdown after as a result of it. I think so. Cary Grant, on the other hand, proselytized about LSD.
Here is part of an interview with the subject just before LSD is to be administered.
My husband is an employee here at the VA, and he told me that they were looking for normal people, and I volunteered.
I see. Do you feel you're normal?
I hope I'm normal. I think so.
Well, a little while back you took quite a series of psychological tests, and I can assure you that you're a very stable and well-balanced person as a result of the tests. And how do you feel about coming here and drinking this strange material?
I'm a little nervous, perhaps.
Well, I think that's normal. Well, I think it's time for you to have your lysergic acid. Drink this down, and we'll be back after a while and see how you're doing.
So it's typical black and white thing. There's a guy in a suit, a doctor in a suit, pale suit, and a normal housewife. I can't work out her age because they always look older than they actually are.
I bet she's about 26.
Yeah, looks kind of mid-30s, so probably 26. Very nice, straight woman from early 1950s America. And she's about to drink...
This is a glass of water, colorless, tasteless. It contains 100 gamma of LSD-25, 1/10 of a milligram, the equivalent of 1/600th of a grain. An ounce of this material will make 150,000 such doses. Let us observe the effect some 3 hours later.
Well, she's doing the classic... By the way, don't take drugs, kids. Don't take drugs. She's doing the classic thing of her finger is pointing and she's sort of moving it slowly in front of her, backwards and forwards.
Well, tell me.
Well, I just couldn't. I couldn't possibly tell you. It's here. Can't you feel it? This whole room. This everything is in color, and I can feel the air. I can see it. I can see all the molecules. I'm part of it. Can't you see it?
I'm trying.
Oh, it's just like you're released, or you're free, or I don't know how I can tell you.
How do you feel inside?
Inside? I don't have any inside.
Oh!
I think it's time she went to bed.
Wow, inside? I don't have any inside. Very familiar. And this is the 50s. This is before, you know, the Grateful Dead and Sgt. Pepper and all of that.
Is it all one?
It would be all one if you weren't here, and if nobody else. Yes, everything is one. You have no.
Everything is one. My God, because that is there's the classic Bill Hicks routine about taking LSD, and he goes, you always get news reports about a guy on LSD jumps off a building thinking he can fly. What about if the report actually said, that a guy takes LSD and he connects with all of the stars in the cosmos and he realises that we are all part of one great, magnificent thing, and we are all connected interdimensionally, and that seems to be the thread here.
Nothing to do with it. I am one with what I am. I can see everything in color. Everything. You have to see the air. You can't believe it. And the dimensions and all the prisms and the rays and everything coming down through you and moving.
What does this all mean to you?
I've never seen such infinite beauty in my life.
Boom. I've never seen such infinite beauty in my life. I think they're doing experiments on it. Every now and then LSD kind of comes back in fashion with psychiatrists. Artie Lang was the main guy. Was it Artie Lang? He was the one who said that insane people should be allowed to indulge their insane visions. And if someone thinks he's Napoleon, well, then talk to him like he's Napoleon and see where that goes. But I think they're kind of doing experiments on acid again. Doesn't lead anywhere.
I know they were talking about mushrooms in depression last year, weren't they?
Yeah, it's a way of pressing the reset button. And this is proper studies have done this, really in-depth scientific studies, that for some people, taking what we call magic mushrooms can be a way of pressing the reset button. Not so you end up speaking Spanish, but...
it's a different button. And
I think there is something in that. And it is weird when you think about it. All right, LSD is a chemical that's made in a laboratory, LSD-25. But it is weird that psilocybin and magic mushrooms and things, they grow normally, they grow naturally, and they're illegal. That's weird, isn't it? That they're illegal. And they grow... I could never find them. We used to go on hunts for them. I could never find them. We used to be able to buy them in Camden legally. Then they made them illegal about 15 years ago, I think. But they grow particularly in fields that have cows in. For some reason, cow dung helps fertilise the magic mushrooms. It's a weird thing that it's illegal. I've done mushrooms. And again, this is my experience. Don't take drugs, kids. But it's very similar to taking LSD, except there is none of the chemical... With things like LSD and stuff, there's kind of a chemical tension in you that is because it's hard to explain. Mushrooms, you take them, you get high, you have a laugh, you see some things, and then very, very gently, there's no horrific come down of the chemicals. Very gently, you just kind of land back on the ground and go... Well, that was fun.
Or if it's a 1500, you get dancing fever and you dance
get
for
dancing
4
fever.
days.
It is interesting, isn't it? And I don't want to, go on a big thing about this, but we've got no calls, so we might as well. I'm also aware that my 14-year-old nephew is here as well, so I don't want to in any way promote drug use, but the prohibition, the things that we have prohibition for and the things that we don't have prohibition for, does seem nuts. I'm not one of those big campaigners, hey, free the weed. But it seems crazy to me that something that grows naturally and is, generally makes people chilled out. I know if people have underlying mental health issues, it can worsen them, it can exacerbate them. I know if people have addiction issues, I get that.
And it can make people really boring.
Oh, God, it makes them so dull! Maybe that's why we need to keep it illegal, because it's so boring.
And smelly.
But booze makes people boring.
Boring and smelly.
Booze makes people boring. It's weird. I don't know. I don't want to do the phone. Should we legalise weed? Yeah, because we probably should. But
maybe it is time to readjust everything. Because, it does seem like our rules are from a time when we didn't know as much as we know now.
Yeah, it seems, the countries where everything is legal seem to have a better grasp. Anyway, I don't know, we're kind of going down a slight tangent. Why have we got no phone calls? We've done... it's not Dylan looks up, is it? What have I done now?
Or if you press.
Wasn't me! We've done good topic. We've done good chat. We've done good show.
What more do you want from us?
What more do you want from us? I bet whoever is sitting in for us tomorrow, who is it? Is it...
Don't know. Let's have a look.
Is it Jamie East? Please let me Jamie East. Please let me Jamie East.
Howard Hughes.
Oh, it's Howard Hughes. All right, that's another good one. Howard Hughes would have been my second choice. Okay, thank you. Are you working tomorrow, Alex? Are you with Howard, or are you done for the week? Yes. Beautiful. Okay, good. Second choice. Second choice. I bet he gets loads of calls. But I'll get calls from the people that don't call us anymore, Howard. So many people have fallen out with us. Some people have fallen out with me because of my behaviour a year ago, and I get that. But so many people have fallen out with us for just reasons I just cannot comprehend.
Well, that person was determined that we'd fallen out.
Yeah. I feel a bit bad about that person because we hugged him and welcomed him back after his first falling out.
Yeah.
And then he, shout on us from a great height.
But I have no idea what that was.
No, I don't. And there are people that for some reason...
Here's the other thing. There is a problem in that some people listen to the show to hear references of themselves that aren't there, but there's no way you can convince them otherwise.
No, and I've had an example of that very recently where people thought I was sending out messages that were not there. I never forget when I was at I was going to say LBC, and a woman caller, she'd phoned quite a few times. Do you remember this, Alex? And she would say things like, well, I feel that we're connected.
Oh,
because whenever you mention smoking, I'm just about to light a cigarette. And whenever... there was this... And I would go, that's just coincidence. That's just coincidence, man. There's no... No, I feel that we're connected, and we're connected on a spiritual level.
I've had that thing where I've been thinking of a song and put the radio on and the song has come on, but I've never made the link of, and so they must...
Gary Davis must love me.
Yes. Yeah. But I guess that's the special thing about late nights.
Oh, the joy of late nights. And I've always said this, when this station was being relaunched, I came in for a meeting and I said, I want this slot. And Liam, who had the meeting, said, what? Why would anyone come in and say, you need me for 10 till 1 at night? He said, I don't understand. Do you not want breakfast? If we were to offer you breakfast, would you want this? I said, no, I'm doing breakfast right now. I don't want it. He said, why not? Because we think you'd be quite... I said, no, too much pressure. Not my scene. Don't like mornings. 10 till 1. 10 till 1 at night. He said, how about drive time? We think you'd be good for drive time. So I'm not interested. If that's what you're... This is when I still had a fairly secure job. I said, if that's what you're going to offer me, I'm not going to walk away from my current job. But if you say to me, come in 10 till 1 at night and you can do whatever you want, I'm there. I'm there. Because it's the best. It's the best lot. BBC London is getting rid of Duncan Barks, 10 till 1, Jim Davis through the night, and Petrie 4 till 6, 4 till 6, I think, 6:30 maybe. And through the night it's just going to be syncing up with 5 Live, and I don't know what's happening with the rest. And I think that's such a shame, because yes, those slots get the lowest numbers. I know that BBC London's listening figures are terrible. We can talk, for a national station, ours kind of the same as theirs for a local station. And I get they get the lowest listening figures and stuff, but I do think that those slots, in terms of the radio clock, they're not the most important in a business financial sense, but I think that they have the biggest impact and connection with the listeners. Mm-hmm. And I think that they are very important. I think, I don't want to say public service, because that's a little bit winky, but it's doing more than perhaps the numbers. So I think our slot and Daryl's slot, I think they're important. I think they are almost a public service.
Also, if you fall asleep listening to a radio station,
yeah,
you're in.
Yeah.
You're in.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
You become part of someone's nighttime routine.
Yeah.
That's you for years if you can keep it going.
Yeah. It's quiet on the phones, but I'm cool with that. We'll just sit here and chat if that's what you want. If you want to take part, you're very, very welcome to. 0344 499 1000. This is the late night alternative. We're not in tomorrow, so if you want to, something you want to get off your chest, now is the time to do it. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Gosh. Wow. Gosh. What should we do, Boyley? What should we do?
I've got stories.
Let's have some stories then.
Let's do stories.
Go on.
All right, we'll have this one. This one sprang to mind. I don't know why. UK's angriest man writes local newspapers every single day for 42
Where is that from?
years.
Where's this story from? Tell me what this is from an American news source.
From the Mirror.
Read that headline again.
I did cut something out. UK's angriest man writes to local newspaper.
Writes too, because you did say rights.
Yeah,
and that's
to local newspaper
okay.
every single day for 42 years.
Oh, God.
What?
I've just remembered, again, at LBC, there was a guy that used to phone up and he would phone the news line. And because I was going out with one of the reporters, I got to hear it, and it kind of made the rounds. Alex, again, do you remember Mr. Angry? Oh, God. And he would phone... I just want to say that this is the biggest piece of shit I've ever heard in my life. Your reporters are talking... It was that kind of thing, was it? You haven't got any of it. You haven't saved any of it, have you, on a file anywhere?
No, sorry. I've got a lot of old stuff, but not him, sadly.
I've got Nana Rayburn and Cocksmudger.
Yep.
If you find it... All right, okay, well...
Someone will have it.
And it would do the rounds, and you go, have you heard the latest Mr. Angry? And he was a real person.
Was he leaving a message on the answer phone or talking to someone?
Leaving a message on the answer phone. Very, very occasionally, like maybe twice in the 4 years I was there, he would phone up a radio show and come on air. But it was, I have to say, this is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard. And he was like, shout. He was old.
This is pre-Twitter.
It was pre. And we didn't know who his name was. So we just called him Mr. Angry, was the name that was... Oh, have you heard the latest Mr. Angry? It's brilliant. He's really angry this time. Oh, God, I used to love it. If any of our old colleagues... maybe I'll send some emails. A few people I know might actually have it. If any of our old colleagues have some Mr. Angry material, please, please, please send it over. Wonderful stuff. Go on, sorry.
The UK's most opinionated man has penned angry letters to his local paper every single day for 42 years.
He must be tired.
He must be. Bernie Carroll, 70... has been sending daily obsessive ramblings and that's in quote marks, to the Liverpool Echo since 1978.
Yeah. Wow.
He first wrote a letter mocking the council about something he, and I quote, can't even remember. It was one of the first of many, as the compulsive writer has sent over 15,000 letters to the paper, amassing roughly 4 million words over the years.
That's more than many of our greatest writers.
The letters were initially a way for Bernie to vent about the militant council of the 70s and 80s in Liverpool, where he lives. Over the years, there hasn't been a single topic he hasn't had an opinion on. His most recent letters focus on his frustrations at the non-stop fireworks in his area and dog poo bags being left on railings in the park. He should write to the...
Better than trees.
Yeah, but you should write to the local BBC radio station.
Yeah.
They'll do stories on it.
Oh, God, they'll do a whole special on that.
That one might not. They might have more interesting things to do, but
no.
We would have.
Yeah.
He would have had a weekly feature. Bernie's beefs.
That's not bad, actually.
Should we phone him?
Yeah.
Bernie said...
And it works on two levels because of the Bernie Steakhouse. Bernie's Beefs. We could have got sponsored.
Well, yeah, not on the BBC.
No, but here we could.
Here we can. Right,
we can get free jacket potatoes at the back of this.
Dylan, you've got an out to do tomorrow.
Get in touch with the Bernie Steakhouse and see if you can get sponsorship for a feature called Bernie's Beefs.
Bernie said, I'm the most opinionated man in the UK. There's nothing I won't have an opinion on. In the 80s, it was utter lunacy. I just felt angry all the time and had no outlet until I started writing the letters. They once sent taxis to give out redundancy notices to teachers. I'm sure that money was well spent. My current annoyance is with these non-stop fireworks that keep going on. Sorry, fireworks that keep going Oh, it's like people have money to burn. And these dog poo bags that are hung around park railings. It's a tasteless new Brit art genre intended to provoke thought and debate like Tracy Emin's grubby beds. I know my letters probably won't ever lead to any actual charge or solve any issues, but it's a cathartic experience for me. Writing gives me closure, and I think it helps me cope with the anger I have. Well, every day, Bernie. His letters are typically critical, but also humorous. He says it's easier to get his point across that way. The former musician spends each morning reading the Liverpool Echo before scanning the Nationals to find new beef. There we go. His process involves research followed by... I mean, this is discipline. Imagine if he turned his powers to positive rather than negative. His process involves research followed by an hour where he neatly jots down his thoughts on any loose paper he can get his hands on. He's a stickler for grammar. Of course he is. And says he carefully edits every letter to roughly 250 words so they're short but incisive. After reading about competitive eating sometime in January this year, Bernie felt compelled once again to write to his local paper. He wrote, "Competitive eating. Whoever invented this obscene abomination?
No!
And why there are people in Yemen eating their pets and living off tree bark."
No, Bernie, competitive eating is the best!
Writing on the sudden rise of lip fillers among young women, he opined, "There is something deeply unedifying about cajoling young people into undergoing unnecessary cosmetic procedures in the interests of profit, and it should be discouraged. Paying good money to look slightly like Mick Jagger is a strange way of improving one's physical appearance." Another beef he had recently was regarding the new TransPennine trains. Flipping it.
What?
Here we go. He said, "TransPennine have recently introduced their state-of-the-art fleet of trains, built in Spain, tested in the Czech Republic, and brought to a virtual standstill in Britain." Well, Bernie takes the time to write a letter each morning. Only 3 or 4 get published each week. 3 or 4 a week?
That's still in,
He should have a column. That's a column.
Yeah. I would give him a column for that.
Of course. He recalled how in 1997 or 1998, an editor had it in for him and boycotted his letters, which left him in the wilderness for nearly 2 years. He said, "I've been writing for so long, I don't know how many reporters and editors have come and gone, but one guy had it in for me. He boycotted my letters and I didn't see one published for nearly 2 years. It was like being left in the wilderness." Who wrote this? This is exactly what he wrote. "And nothing with nothing but my angry thoughts, but I sent them anyways." He said he used to write a letter by hand after spending £20 a week on postage. £20 a week.
Post stamps are well expensive nowadays.
He now drafts them by hand and sends them to the paper via email, which has made being angry more affordable. A linguist fluent in German and Russian, Bernie hates the word amazing, but said he's only beginning to learn about emojis and is a fan. Bernie, who's been married for 20 years.
That poor woman.
He's quiet every morning, and that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Said, "I'm just getting my head around emojis at the moment. It's a great idea, but I haven't been able to use them yet. The one word that always annoys me is amazing. It's like the only adjective anyone ever uses, and it's completely lost its meaning." Bernie and his wife, Stephanie, never had any children. He was too busy.
Yeah.
No, which is why he believes he's had so much time to write to his paper. God, imagine. He said, "I've been writing letters longer than I've been with my wife, and I think writing them probably saved my marriage as I don't have to pester her anymore. I've got no children, so maybe that's given me more time to write letters. I don't have time for children. I've never been able to commit to doing anything in my life other than letters and my marriage."
For Roger, could you shout, "She is a tart"?
She is a tart!
This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Where the hell are all of our calls? By the way, I know the guy who is doing the PR for Brian Wilson. He's the guy that got me to interview Brian Wilson twice.
Oh, hello.
I've sent Steve a cheeky little DM saying, "Steve, is Brian available for any interviews? Any chance of a pair of tickets for Brighton, please?" He got me tickets for like a special gig that Brian Wilson did for like the 40th would work. anniversary of Pet Sounds, and we were in the front row of a theatre, and Brian Wilson, at the end of God Only Knows, the whole audience stood up and sang God Only Knows back to him, and he just stood there like, I don't know what to do. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. You know, Brian Wilson concert is a weird experience. You kind of think, okay, how much is in there? How much is that guy's actually there?
I saw Mickey Rooney in Panto.
Yeah.
You could virtually see the hands pushing him on.
Yeah, I saw Glenn Campbell on his last tour, and I kind of wish I hadn't. He was playing, wasn't class. It was Julian Banjos. He was on the guitar, and his daughter was on the banjo, and he was a bit of the way through it. He was a fret out. He was up one fret too high, so it was all completely out of tune. And
didn't you blame them?
He blamed his daughter, yeah, and they took it because they knew what was going on. But and there was a few bits where he told the same joke like 4 times, and it was just a bit. The whole audience was willing him on. I mean, I interviewed him for that tour, like a couple of months before that.
Is that the one where he tried to leave with you?
It was me and Eloise, who was a producer at Absolute, and so nice. He's such a handsome man. His eyes, my God, his eyes were incredible, really tall. Never seen very tall, old people. And but he was gone. He was with his wife, who was so lovely and so kind. And I'd ask him, I sensed quite, the PR said, because the Alzheimer's story was out, but the PR people said, you won't notice. He's fine. And the first question was, there was a stumble, and I thought, okay, I'm going to keep this nice and simple. Tell me about meeting Jimmy Webb. Who now? Jimmy Webb, who wrote Galveston and, you know, some of your biggest hits. How did I meet Jimmy? It's like a really famous story. How did I meet Jimmy? And his wife went, Glenn, you remember, you heard a song on the radio and you liked it and you got in touch with the record company and it was one of Jimmy's. And, oh, yeah, that's how I met it. And then at the end, we finished and we thanked him and we thanked his wife and his manager, and there were some people there, and he left with us. And we had to do that thing that so many people have to do with their grandparents. We said, Glenn, you're over here. This is your manager and that's your wife. Oh, God, yeah, of course, I forgot. I'm so sorry. And it was just,
Yeah, God.
If you want to cry, have you seen that documentary?
Yeah. What's it called?
I'm Still Here, or That's Not Me.
I'll Be Me.
I'm Still Here is the Joaquin Phoenix thing, isn't it? Anyway, it's just... man.
It's such a shame. It's such a cruel condition because they look the same. I mean, towards the end they don't, but they look the same, and they have moments where they are the same for a while.
And the music definitely kept him well for longer, I think. I think that's almost scientifically proven that has an effect. It certainly kept him well for longer, and had he not still been playing and stuff, I think he would have degenerated a few years before. But doing that tour felt a little... it felt a little uncomfortable.
But it's that whole thing of who's going to tell Dad we're taking the car keys, I imagine.
I think they could have taken the car keys and he wouldn't have noticed. I don't think he would have noticed.
What, that he wasn't playing anymore?
That he wasn't on tour.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Yeah. And I do feel there is a similar thing with Brian Wilson. Part of me thinks...
Does he want to do that?
Let him rest.
Yeah.
Let him rest now. He's done it. He's done it. He wrote Good Vibrations. He ain't got to do any more for us. But, you know, it's an amazing band. Al Jardine sounds exactly like Al Jardine singing Help Me Rhonda in 1964. You know, it's definitely worth having some of, you know. So, yeah, let's go and watch an old man who doesn't really want to be there performing his greatest hits. You fancy that?
Yeah, I do.
See that?
Do you remember when we saw Mike Love?
Yeah.
There was a guy who doesn't realise he's an old man.
Yeah, God almighty. I mean, I met him and that was a thrill. That was a real thrill, you know. But, I mean, Mike Love's 78 now, I think. 76 when we saw him, probably. And it's, you know, these people are going to be dead very, very soon.
What do you know?
Coronavirus. Very, very soon, you know. These people will not be around much longer. Yeah. All of my heroes are in their 70s. Then who do I go and see? I'll be richer because I won't be buying tickets. But then who do I go in 5 years' time? Who do I go and see? You know, no one, probably.
Whenever I play the Beatles in the car, my youngest always says, Is this one left?
Yeah.
Is this one left?
Yeah,
She's trying to work out who's still there.
We have a lot of that. Which one's dead? And yeah, you know, I was thinking the other day, there won't be any more monkeys left soon. A few years, you know, there won't. They're in their late 70s. There won't be any more monkeys left soon. 8 years since Davy Jones died on Saturday. Like Saturday just gone. It's nuts, huh?
That Glenn Campbell documentary, though, is incredible. I'll Be Me. Even if you're not massively into Glenn Campbell, it's just...
It's hard work. It's really upsetting. It's really upsetting.
Yeah, be in the right frame of mind for it.
Yeah, be ready for a good old-fashioned cry. Let's have a quick break. 0344. I'm not giving out the number. No one's calling in. He's tempted to go home early and let Daryl fill. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344. Sorry, was that a bit too...
It was very loud, but let's do it.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I just feel... Where are the calls?
I don't know. I've gone quiet.
Well, these... I was just explaining to our workie, these are the shows that we get paid for. When there's loads of calls, we do it for free. And then when there's not many calls, these are the ones that we get paid for. I'm going to take line 3 straight to air. Line 3, you're on the wireless.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath. It's Fiona.
Hello, Fiona.
Hi. I've not got much to say, but you asked for somebody to call, so...
I don't know why we've got no calls, and it's not... We don't normally put out topics, but we put out some topics tonight. And we're doing the usual shtick. Is it over, Fiona? Is it over for us?
No, they're probably watching football or something.
Yeah, scumbags. Those 1:45 games of football, I hate. How's life going for you, Fiona?
You don't know, there could be someone, some other country that they're watching via satellite.
There'll be something going on. How's life going for you?
It was okay.
Just okay?
Yeah.
You sound a little bit down.
Just missing George, I think.
Yeah, of course. It's always... It's when there is someone that you are madly in love with and they are not with you because they have passed away or because of circumstance, you just feel like, oh, God, I'd love to tell them about this. Do you know what I mean, Kath? I'm watching this film and it's better than I thought. I'd love to tell them about... I'd love them to be sat here watching this with me. And I guess when someone's passed, maybe it fades a bit, but I guess it never quite goes away.
No, never. I have subscribed to your wonderful Twitch channel.
Fiona, thank you, madam.
But I couldn't get my own nickname on.
Oh.
So I'm on as George's woman. And you keep calling me George.
Oh, no! Okay. Well, then, now I know who you are. I shall not call you George anymore. If I remember, I'll forget because I'm an idiot. So I will do my best to remember. And if I don't, I'll give you full permission to give me an electronic internet boot up the backside.
It's absolutely fine. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Nice one, Fiona. What's the weather like up there? Is it cold?
Yes, I'm actually underneath my duvet at the moment, so I'm quite warm. But I'm also that age, so you know.
Yeah, it's freezing down here at the moment, and I got home last night and I forgot to put the heating on before I got home. Oh, it was cold, man. It was cold. I'm done with this. Let's get a little bit of warmth, please, baby Jesus. I pray for a little bit of warmth. I don't want it too hot.
Not that bad. We had the windows open one night and we were lying and we were like, oh, this is quite cosy, the pair of us. And the next morning we discovered it was -15 out.
Flipping heck. Absolute nut job. That's insane.
The windows open, we had no idea.
I do like, I'll be honest, I do like a cold bedroom. And this is, I think, partly why my marriage broke down, is I do like having windows open. I think it's healthy for you to have windows open in the bedroom. Yeah. Otherwise you're breathing in, like, dead skin and semen and dust. All the dust that accumulates in a bedroom, that's going into your lungs, and that can give you emphysema. So it's good to have a window open.
During the storm, my window got blown off its Right, we had to get somebody in to fix it because it was completely blown out of its casing by the wind because it was open when the wind...
Yeah, flipping heck, man.
Mind you, the front door blew wide open and the wind came up the stairs and turned our hatch inside out for the attic.
Oh, you don't want that.
What? Are you sure that wasn't a poltergeist?
That was George.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
angry.
angry.
He's keeping an eye on you, Fiona. You got to be careful.
He was angry because my daughter's boyfriend's come to stay and he brought the PlayStation with him and we could never afford things like that.
Yes, man, the PlayStation is in the house. All productivity is now over.
And I accidentally, he always wanted to get a television, but we never quite got the money together for it. And I then managed to save the money, and I said, I'll buy the television for George. And we've only got a little house, and I accidentally bought a 50-inch screen. So here he was playing the PlayStation on this huge screen, and the door blew open. And I thought, I wonder if it is George come home angry.
Yeah. Here's the thing, because TVs used to be like 27 inches used to be a big. 32 inch was like, whoa. But now if 50 is like the norm.
Yeah.
50 is the norm. I think mine is 50 inch. And before that, I had a 42 inch. And the 42 inch looks tiny compared to that. It's what a world we live in.
We had a big brick. We had a huge brick before.
Yeah.
Because we went once for spending money that we don't have. So, but the colour had started to go, and everything was red. So we had to get a new telly.
I had a telly like that you someone gave to me when I had my own place.
Yeah.
And you could see round corners on it.
Yeah.
It sort of bent at the sides.
It was just...
I miss
everybody was coming in looking at it.
I miss the TV repairman that would come round in a blue jumpsuit with a toolbox and would come and fix the TV.
After everyone had had a good bang with the top of it.
Yes, well, it's just your parents. Yeah, no, they would, and they would come round and fix it. And of course, now you can't even take those things apart. You know, those things are built to last for 4 years, and then they break down, or you can't upgrade the software in a TV, and you got to chuck it. Canny, they're canny.
When we moved into this house 10 years ago, I got rid, and I wish I hadn't done it, got rid of the telly that I'd been using for years, and it was one that was bought for my granny in 1982. And we were still using it, and the picture was still wonderful, and everything was great. And we got rid of it, and I wish I hadn't bothered now. I wish I had it up in the bedroom, because my mum gave me a flat screen for the bedroom, and it went put within 3 months of me getting it.
You are better than that. I keep thinking, if I had a TV in the bedroom, I would never leave the bedroom. The cats wouldn't get fed. I wouldn't get fed. You're better than a TV in the bedroom, Fiona.
Ian, I've got ME and fibromyalgia. A lot of the time I'm confined to bed.
That's just an excuse to be lazy. I'm joking. Well, in that case,
I think that should be on prescription in that case.
In that case, I will allow it. But...
I got into listening to your show, actually, in the hospital. I was taken to the hospital about a month after George passed, and we thought it was just a broken heart. We thought it was grief.
Yeah.
And then I went for an assessment for PIP benefit, and I collapsed again. By the time it got to October, I couldn't move out of the bed. So I got hospitalised, and they discovered that I had severe anemia, and that my blood count was 62, and it should be 120.
Wowzers.
So that's where I finally got into listening to you.
Well, then get rid of again, you're arguing against yourself. Get rid of the TV and just have the radio, Fiona. Come on.
Well, the telly's burst.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Well, in that case...
The only thing I'm annoyed about is we got a video come DVD player, and a friend committed suicide a few years ago, and I have a video of him on it, and I desperately want to watch the video to hear his voice again.
Yeah.
And that's all I want the telly in here for.
You can get video recorders dead cheap on eBay now.
Yeah, I've got one. I just can't.
Oh, yeah, you haven't got the telly. Right, I've got you now. You've got the video recorder, you haven't got the telly. Right, okay, yeah. Fiona, I will allow you to have a television in your bedroom because you've put forward such an excellent case, and thank you for your call. I appreciate it. It's always nice to talk to you. Sloop John B.
Hadouken, Ian Lee, and Hadouken, Katherine Boyle. And
Hadouken, Sloop.
What are you saying?
Hadouken.
What does that mean?
Listen, it's like when you throw a fireball on a video game.
Okay.
Hadouken.
But listen, speaking of Dylan, right, I had a conversation this weekend, and I wanted to get your thoughts on something, right, because it was to do with drugs.
Okay.
But as we're parents, right, do you know about this new craze, drinking lean, which is the cough medicine mixed with lemonade?
No.
Well, I was speaking to a young chap because I was going to buy a T-shirt which was about that, and I was sort of thinking it's a little bit dodgy buying that. It's, putting out a bad message. And this young fella said to me, actually, I drink it on the weekends, when I go to the studio to record. And I think it was really difficult because I didn't know what to say for once. I didn't want to judge him or anything. But he was explaining how they do it, and it just sounded really dangerous. He sort of said, well, we pour the cough medicine.
Let's not do the recipe now.
Yeah, don't tell us how to do it.
No, sorry. What's Dylan's there, right? Do they talk about this stuff in schools? I mean, do I need to be having my talks with an 11-year-old, or is this something
Do they talk to you? Well, here's the thing. Dylan's history is slightly because he was in New Zealand for a few years, so he's kind of been all over the place. Do they give you drug talks at school, Dylan?
Not really. Not really about drugs, more like puberty chats.
Puberty chats, yeah, there's a drug. But I remember having drug chats in school, and it just made me want to try drugs. The copper come around, and he passed around, a little bit of hash, and it made me want to try drugs. Here's the thing, and my history of drugs is very dark. But when I was growing up, my heroes were Brian Wilson and Sid Barrett and Keith Moon, one of whom died and two of whom went nuts because of primarily because of drugs. There were other issues with Sid and Brian, definitely. But
I've got to check his history.
But hang on. But I never acknowledged that as part of the story. I would just get
saw the rock and roll part.
I saw the rock and roll. I saw the creativity. I saw the rock and roll, and I was able to disengage from the death and the mental health issues and just think, well, this is fun. And I never connected with the serious stuff.
Well, all I could say to him was just be careful. I mean, because I can't tell him no, but it was just, I just found it to be slightly unnerving, and I'm not going to buy the T-shirts now. But it was just, I didn't want to say to him, oh, don't do that, man, or be judgmental, because he's got to experiment, and he seems to enjoy it. But it just, all I could really say to him was like, listen, dude, just take it easy with that stuff. But maybe I'll have to talk to the missus and see about what the right time is to have that conversation with the wee man.
I think I think at 11, I think it's always okay to what language you can say to your child that is understandable and doesn't create fear. And I think 11, it's a great age to start talking about those kind of things. Here's the thing, I get told off sometimes, not for a while, but told off sometimes for making it sound like I'm encouraging people to take drugs. If that's what people think, then they ain't listening. But I'm also know that a 46-year-old overweight middle-aged guy saying, by the way, kids, don't do drugs. No one's going to listen. I didn't listen. I didn't listen when I was a teenager, when I was 20-something, when I was 30. Well, I stopped when I was 31. But I didn't listen. I wouldn't listen to someone saying, "Oh, don't do that. That's really get stuffed." What do you know about anything? I
think people have to learn for themselves.
People have to learn for themselves.
There's a bit of education there, and I think if you can talk to your parents, you see, for me, it just was my parents were lovely, but I never felt I could talk to people about that. And I think what I would love to do is have my son come to me and go, "Look, I'm thinking of doing this," and rather than just going, "No," just say, "Okay, what are you doing and how are you doing it?" And do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, here's the thing. They're going to do stuff without talking to us because they'll find some reason that they don't want to talk to us about things. But if you are available and you get some of the bases covered, then hopefully you'll make them a bit safer.
Most people who use drugs can use them recreationally and not have a problem. A lot of people can get away with it and that's fine and that's great, and I'm envious of those people.
There was one thing he said that which was the part that unnerved me, where he said that he knew a couple of people that were starting to have a problem with it where they couldn't stop doing it.
Did I say
so? That's where I was like, ooh.
No, this is the other guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said that. So, but I didn't want to say to him, well, you shouldn't be doing that, because that's not.
No, but
I don't think that's the right thing to do.
The penny will or will not drop when he sees his mates suffering.
Yeah.
All I can do, right, I tell you, don't take drugs, that's not going to stop anybody doing it. But all I can do, particularly for my kids, but also people around me, is I can just let them be aware of my history, and that if they do develop a problem, there is an alternative. I just have to be a living embodiment of the message of 12-step fellowships, that there is an alternative and that you don't have to do that. But hopefully, you know, most people can use and they can have fun with it and they can put it away. It's just some people who have the disease of addiction and they cannot do that. George is addicted to phoning up this bloody radio show. Yes, George?
I am. It's now 4/3/2020, so it's an 11th
Jesus
day.
Christ. George, stop with this numerology bollocks, please. Please, stop it! Boring!
It's the Justice card, and hopefully today you'll both win an award on Justice Day. And,
well, no, but it's Justice Day for everyone. So that means everyone's going to win an award for Justice Day.
No, I hope it's written in the script that you both win an award today.
Thank you, George.
And I tried LSD a few times in 1988.
You don't say.
And I didn't have
any
the
effect
experiences that other people have on it. I just saw how dirty and dusty everything was.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Well, I was expecting some real psychedelic experience of colours, and all I got was the opposite 3 times.
Oh well.
And then I went to prison because I sold some LSD to a couple of News of the World reporters, and they made me out to be the master pusher behind the acid house craze, which was far from the truth. But it's interesting.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. I've kind of lost. I'm going to get. I feel we've talked too much about drugs in front of my nephew.
But that phrase, "master pusher behind the acid house movement," was something I wasn't expecting.
What went wrong with the calls tonight? We had some great calls, by the way. Thank you. But what went wrong with the calls tonight? I don't think
you can unpick it sometimes. It's just the way it goes.
I do sometimes think. I'm not suggesting that we do this because we couldn't afford to. If we stopped for 6 months, I sometimes think that people get too complacent. Both us as presenters, but also the callers get too complacent and don't. I don't know. I just feel
maybe we need to do something to encourage new callers, because here's the thing. Most people that listen to a radio show will never ring.
Do we take the plunge and do a new callers only phone in? I mean, that's always a punt.
I'd love that.
Oh God!
What's the worst that can happen? This.
What? Daryl walking in.
Hey!
I'm here, guys. Don't worry.
Where did you get your wipes from? Because I want to get some now. I was inspired by you yesterday.
Just the shop, mate.
Just the shop.
Just the shop. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get some.
They're quite common.
Well, he couldn't find any.
Well, actually, no. I mean, I don't know whether maybe we are at a point now where they started to run out, aren't they? I know that we're having. Somebody was selling hand sanitizer on the internet for £100 or something.
Oh, stop!
Yeah, well, I've sold 3, so I'm doing all right. I tell you what, then Friday, new callers only.
Let's try it.
Or maybe tomorrow. Well, maybe.
We're not doing tomorrow.
Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Who's doing tomorrow?
Howard Hughes.
Oh, Howard Hughes. I like Howard Hughes.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
I don't think so.
Joe Pasquale has.
So have I.
Have you? Have you really?
Yeah.
Tell me all about
my
that.
ex-wife. So we were stood on a balcony. My ex-wife is a reporter, and actually she's very straight down the line. We're stood on a balcony in North London, and it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a lovely day, and the sky was clear, and one of us said, wouldn't it be funny if we saw a UFO now? And the other one, yeah, that'd be weird. 30 seconds later, no word of a lie, we saw this bright white light moving in a straight line across the sky, and I went, can you see that? And she went, yeah, I can. We went, that's not an aeroplane, is it? No. And we saw a UFO.
And you preempted it as well?
Talk Radio.
Oh, is that it?
Talk Radio.